All right, there you go, man.
I see it.
Nah, that's crazy, man. I'm gonna play one song and then we back. Hold
Yeah,
up,
copy.
crazy.
Uh, 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 uh-huh. When my back's against the wall, I could still feel like 20 feet tall. I could still be the person you can call, even when my very world is falling apart. But you don't get it though. I'm not like every woman that you seen. I don't be tripping when they tell me that I'm just like all these other women. I don't blame you. If I was them, I would've did the same too. But I'm not them, and I got sense enough to see the angles. I was raised by my daddy, who was raised by a player, a good black woman that's surrounded by Jewish neighbors and Italians in Brooklyn who ain't like the way he lived and grew up doing something better. Worked hard to get the cheddar. Fast forward, he had a daughter that could flow so poetic and identifies as a Jew, but ain't against no Semitics. The shit is in me, it ain't on me, son. It's just my genetics. The way I'm eating these beats, you would've thought it was breakfast. But back to the message, cause they know I'ma keep a nigga secrets. First things first, if I see it, then I ain't seen it. Secondly, if you preying, I'ma peep it. And tertiary, I'm a mercenary and freedom's on my receipt. So if you thinking shit like I won't fight for what I believe in while I'm doing the work of God, I'm pissing off all my demons that these niggas pledge their allegiance to, committing the streaming. Cause I know the earth was the Lord's before a heathen was breathing, and my blessings come by the legions. Cause I'm solid like I'm a cement, they following like a sequence. I know that women and children need guidance, and I'ma lead them. So if you provide it, then I'ma feed them. When my back's against the wall, I could still feel like 20 feet tall. I could still be the person you can call, even when my very world is falling apart. But you don't get it. When my back's against the wall, I could still feel like 20 feet tall. I could still be the person you can call, even when my very world is falling apart. But you don't get it though.
Yeah, all right. We live. We back live and direct. I did the goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought that we were live. We was jamming for like 15 minutes. Lo and behold, here we are now. You know what I mean? But
Good.
we got some things lined up tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I need to know, right? I need to know a couple of things. So one of the things that I want to know, and I'm gonna let everybody, you know what I'm saying, who rocking with us tonight, basically decide. You know what I'm saying? But we were talking and we were saying that we need some theme music, right? So with that being said, so what I need to know is how y'all feel about this being the intro. Some smooth shit, some boom bap. I need to know. I need to know if y'all think that should be season's 1 intro.
Let's go. All you gotta do is comment. Let us know.
They saying that's smooth. They saying that's fire. So far, it sound like they like it. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then that's beautiful. All right, we getting some flames in the chat. We thinking that that's what y'all want. All right, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? So as of right now for tonight, you know what I'm saying, one of the things that we getting into, he says that's it. You know, so he said that's it. So what we gonna be getting into today, as y'all already know, man, I'm Kazazai. We got Nate Starr joining us this evening. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, every evening moving forward. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like Sunday is our day. You know what I mean? And outside of that, you know what I'm saying, one of the things that I want to get into is, did record labels create gangsta rap in order to fund and fuel the prison system? So there's a article y'all might have seen. You understand, a man by the name of Commanding General Yohana, right? You know what I'm saying? And Commanding General Yohana, it said what it says. But hey, need to have a word with Captain Katazal, Captain T. I'm a hold till y'all take calls. What I'm gonna do is anybody want to talk. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the invite in. You know what I'm saying? This is an open platform, so y'all invited. You know what I'm saying? Just don't act the fool. Y'all can come chop it up with us. You're more than welcome.
You can act the fool to see how it turns out. Give it a try.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, I mean a different type of act the fool.
Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Anybody and everybody is welcome. Now outside of that, now here's one of the things I want to talk about. So Commander General Yohana, he did a lecture recently, and one of the things that he brought out was a conversation, right? And this conversation was an anonymous letter, and it was the secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this. Hold up, let me slide over this way. I'm gonna drop this right in the chat for anybody who want to read along. So this is the actual letter. Now, what we also have outside of the letter is we got a what do you call it? We got a Crazy Bones, the secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation, right? So this is him breaking it down. So the video is about, you know what I'm saying, 12 minutes. I want to watch and get into some of this. And any of y'all that want to actually read along, you know what I'm saying, the link is going to be in the chat and it's going to be in the description. Now, you got anything you want to bring out?
As of right now, nope. Keep it moving, brother.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so here's what we're going to do, right? So I'm going to present, and then I'm going to share this screen. We're going to come over to here. Boom. We're going to throw this on the screen. I want everybody to tune in. I'm going to mute my mic for now. We're going to listen.
The secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed the generation.
Damn.
So it says, hello. After more than 20 years, I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time weighing the pros and cons of making my story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out the names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were, like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for.
Damn.
Hold on, let me
So we gonna tell a story.
we gonna tell the story. We ain't scared.
You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do?
They after us.
No, we ain't scared.
Look, black man.
So look, so he says, between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like they are today. The industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small
He
group
reading this off or something?
with business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction.
So he's reading this off of, I don't know if you saw the link that I put in the chat, right?
Okay.
So this is literally an anonymous letter. And this is an anonymous letter that, you know what I'm saying, was released. So what I did was I put the letter out to anybody who wants to actually read along. So he's reading this verbatim right now.
So we don't know where the letter's coming from. It's just an anonymous letter.
Right. So this is like, to me, the best way I could compare it is nobody knows where like Willie Lynch letters came from. It's like pseudo-pictographica. They don't even know if it's real or valid. But you can tell that there's like certain historical accuracies with how slave masters treated things, right?
Now, did he attend the meeting or did he not attend the meeting?
This is what I don't know if he was invited to that. I haven't seen this all the way through to know if he was invited to this meeting or if he's just discussing it. But I figured for the sake of the audience that they ain't got to hear my voice for 12 minutes. They could hear somebody else's while we break this shit down. You know what I'm saying? But this is, you know what I'm saying, this letter, and nobody, I haven't seen anybody outside of him touch on this publicly. You know what I mean? But what I want to do is I found some pieces, you know what I'm saying, I shared with you. I shared with a couple of other brothers that I'd like anybody that wants to join the live, you can come in and join, chat with us. And you know what I'm saying? And all I want to do is I just want to point out the dots and maybe connect a few. That is this conspiracy or is this real? Regardless if this is an actual record executive, right? What I want to know is there actually truth to it? So let's see what he's talking about.
Rap music's new direction.
Yeah.
Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen.
Crazy.
So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there.
Right.
Most of them familiar faces. Speaking of those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private meeting to discuss the future of hip hop.
Talk to him.
Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be from our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign the confidentiality agreement, preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued, in some cases, disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on matters and consequences, which stated that violating the terms would result in job termination immediately. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but could not find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. Nobody stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curiosity got the best of me.
That's right.
A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected all the agreements from us. So now it's going to get to the good part because the meeting about to start.
Talk to him, G.
It says, quickly after the meeting began, hold on one second.
Get your popcorn, y'all.
Popcorn, get your pistol. No,
For real though.
Quickly after this meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everybody else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no other details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but that was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved in our industries and congratulated us for being selected as part of this small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable in the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry, which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement.
Damn.
He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who received funding from the government based on the number of inmates.
Mm-hmm.
The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons.
Mm-hmm.
It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies, and as employees, we'd also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room. You could have heard a pin drop. I remember looking around to make sure I wasn't dreaming and saw half of the people with dropped jaws. My daze was interrupted when someone shouted, "Is this a fucking joke?" At this point, things became chaotic.
Right.
Two of the men who were part of the unfamiliar group grabbed the man who shouted and attempted to remove him from the house. A few of us, myself included, tried to intervene. One of them pulled out a gun, and we all backed off. They separated us from the crowd, and all four of us was escorted outside. My industry colleague who opened up the meeting earlier hurried out to meet us and reminded us that we had signed an agreement and would suffer the consequences of speaking out about this publicly, or even those who attended the meeting.
Damn.
I asked him, why was he involved with something so corrupt? And he replied, "It's bigger than the music business and nothing we can do. No, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we want to challenge without risking consequences." We all protested as we walked back into the house. I remember word for word the last thing he said: "It's out of my hands now. Just remember you signed an agreement." He then closed the door behind him. The men rushed us to our car and actually waited until we drove off the property.
Damn.
So this meeting, bro.
Now that's a lot for a meeting right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this person later on, he said, this person actually ended up leaving the music industry after this happened. A few years after this, he ended up leaving the music industry.
Okay.
And he said he just over the years he just felt guilty because he said as he sat back and he watched these plans come to a reality
Over 2 decades.
he sat back and was like, wow, they really pulled it off.
Yeah.
They really pulled this off. He was like, they were told not to sign any more political rappers, any more rappers that had messages in their music.
No positivity.
It was all to be gangster rap music that they promoted and put out.
So if you wonder where Brand Nubians went, where Poor Righteous Teachers went, where Public Enemy went, where KRS-One went, and all sorts of groups like that was talking, even Queen Latifah and Moni Love and those,
Everybody.
It's a back door.
Yeah, anything that was harmless, fun rap, anything that had a message in it had to go.
Yeah, that's why if you even notice though,
we talk about that all the time.
Even be brief with it, those charms that came out like maybe in 1988, 89, the African charms, those they lasted for about 2 years and they disappeared real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Now, after reading all this, it actually made me feel a few different ways. The first emotion I felt was shocked because I was definitely taken back by this, just knowing the level of evil that's involved by even thinking of a plan like this. You know what I'm saying? The second emotion I felt was anger. Anger because it's not enough for them to exploit our culture and make all the money off of it. Mm-hmm. Because let's keep it real, the industry has never been favorable towards the artists. Never. But they're going to go beyond the artists to get the artists to influence and lure in the consumer, which they knew at the time were mainly minorities.
Yep.
In other words, keep promoting gangster rap so that the youngsters will be influenced by them, which in turn will incite them to want to act like them. And it's a very good chance they'll end up in their prison.
Yeah.
So they're getting paid twice. They're getting paid from the artists they signing, and then they're getting paid from the people that these artists influence that goes to prison trying to be like these artists.
Yeah.
So they making a killing.
A killing.
They're using the music business to promote their private prison business.
My man is right there talking that right. 1988, a man named Tom Beasley, man. That's the co-founder of
I don't think we heard enough.
What do you say now?
Something we heard enough on that video.
I think so. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely some things I agree with, some things I ain't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Just so you know, sidebar, Adam, you on? It's not gonna bring your video on unless you open your camera. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Yaquata's with us tonight. What's happening? What was you gonna say, Nate?
What's going on, brother? No, I wasn't saying that. I was just basically saying like we heard enough. You know, as far as the video is concerned, I think we heard enough of the video. I don't know, bro. It don't seem. It seems like a bunch of question marks.
Now, that's what I was saying a minute ago. Where it could be like kind of like the Willie Lynch letters, where maybe they're not, you know what I'm saying, real, but it's based on historical accuracies. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if this meeting took place, but I could definitely connect some dots to say that there was definitely a plan orchestrated with the privatization of the prison system. I know that just off the Iran-Contra scandal.
I agree, but I don't think they needed hip hop for that. There was gangsters when Al Green was popping, and before hip hop, there was gangsters. I don't think they needed, in my opinion, I don't feel they needed gangster rap for that. You know
see,
in my opinion.
See, I think that it's not that they only needed gangster rap. I think that they utilized this technique and spread it not only through music. I think they did it through video games. I think that they did it through, you know what I'm saying, through videos.
Not to cut you off, but if you look at 1991 compared to hip hop now, everybody was trying to ban hip hop, right? Let's get hip hop out of here. It's bad for the kids. It's bad for us. There was so much against hip hop in 91 at those times. Everybody was against it, from whites to all ethnicities. It was against it. If that meeting took place somewhere now, or like somewhere within from the 2000s to now, that would make more sense to me. But at that time, they was protesting all over the world about hip hop music. So why would they want to keep it, but then so many people protesting at the same time?
Because for the same reason why when you look at certain companies and certain people who are tied together, they fund both sides. Because it's like you fund the people who are cutting down the trees and you fund the people who are protesting cutting down the trees to let them blow off some steam to think that they doing something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you had C. Dolores Tuckett, you had certain senators and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And mayors who got involved in certain areas trying to stop it. But did that stop the record? Did that stop the record industry? What did it really do besides like when people make a hashtag and say hands up, don't shoot? Does that stop the police? Like picketing doesn't do shit.
Well, I'm saying nothing's going to stop it. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I also feel like, why would we? Well, there was gangsters in the pimp era. There was no hip hop music. The prison system was even worse than it is now. But it could play. It could play a part. I'm not saying that meeting didn't happen, because it does make sense how gangster rap and etc. does play to a lot of kids that don't know nothing about the streets even today, where kids don't even be outside, but they supposedly know street shit. So it makes sense. It's just highly debatable though. Too debatable for me.
Because this is where it's coming from too. And then, you know what I'm saying, Adam or Yaquatazai, y'all could jump in. This is an open panel, you know what I'm saying? So if y'all got anything to say on topic, whatever the case may be. But so what happens is, the reason being is because this agenda comes around in the early 90s while, you know what I'm saying, you're now, you know what I'm saying, private prison systems have IPOs and stocks. Now they're being publicly traded on the market, and prison turns into a business. So the whole point is, any successful business, right? If you sell a t-shirt,
prison's been a business.
Not when it comes down to the privatization of it and who owned it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got with the privatization of the prison system, you have two things that happen. One, think about any business. A t-shirt business is successful when they selling t-shirts. A prison is successful when the beds are filled. So now you got prisons making deals. Like, you ever hear like how there's a quota that police have, and why at the end of the month everybody says, yo, don't blow no light because the cops is giving out tickets?
Yes, sir.
And that's because of the prison system. So the governor makes a deal with the prisons. The prisons have to be filled. The mayor answers to the governor. The chief of police answers to the mayor. So now they put all that pressure down on the police department because now it's policing for profit. That's one. Now we fill in the beds. Here's number two. Number two comes down when you now start to say, hey, AT&T, we will let prisoners work for you for 30 cents a day, 50 cents a day. So that now you're cutting back on your payroll. So instead of paying them 20 an hour, now when you write this contract out, they're now paying them 30 cents a day. And whoever has the contract is making $19.70 off of every inmate per hour that they're working. So now it's double profitability.
I have no debate there.
So as a result, here's what happens, right? Why now? Like think about it, right? Nobody wants another man sleeping with a woman. Then why is every single song on the radio about sleeping with another man's wife? You understand? Unaliving somebody is a crime. Then why is every song drill music on the radio now? Why is every video game unaliving somebody? You know what I'm saying? If the speed limit, if the fastest speed limit only goes up to 80 miles per hour, why is your car able to do 160? They throw the crime in your face and then jail you for it because that's what makes the system money.
That's true. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. What's happening?
What's up, fellas? So I got a question for y'all. Everybody in here is born about, because I was born about 85. Everybody around that range?
Yes,
Somewhere
sir.
around there.
85 for me.
All right. So y'all should remember when we was listening to the radio when we was growing up, like we didn't hear none of the shit that we hear. Like it was like we didn't hear none of this shake your ass shit like that. We didn't hear no curse words. We didn't hear shit about sex. Like we had now that I'm older and I listen to the radio now, I'd be like, damn, like I'd be looking for like WBLS. Like I'm from New York. That's the R&B shit. But everything is just like you said, it's the same shit. It's get money. I'm fucking your bitch. I'm selling these drugs. I'm offing this cat. Now, again, radio has the power to play any song on the radio. They have every song that was ever made. Ever made. They have hundreds of radio stations. They play the same shit over and over and over again on the same station and on other stations. Like you could be on one station, go to the next station, and it'd be the same song. So, I mean, I think that we don't even need to read the letter. I mean, the shit is in our face constantly. Like I said, I'm from the 85 era, so when I was growing up, like I seen the change. Like these chicks, like it kills me. Like, for instance, my sister, when we go outside and play, and in the hood, we actually play. Like we didn't stay in our house. Like we went out, play manhunt, all that shit. She couldn't go outside, for instance, because we didn't have a washing machine. So if she had dirty clothes or whatever, and she just had enough clothes to go to school, and she only had stretch pants, she couldn't go outside in no fucking stretch pants. That was unthinkable. But look at how these chicks is rocking. Look at how these dudes is rocking. I mean, bro, like music is a science, and it delves into your brain. So when you drill constantly, especially, cats like me who growing up wild, not really with no good supervision, I'm listening to all the crazy shit. Like after a while, I mean, yeah. So when I'm young and I get my girlfriend shit, I don't want just one. I want mad bitches. But one thing I could never do or delve and sit right with me is if I got all this bread and I'm a fly nigga, I don't want nothing you touching, bro. I want my own shit. So that always kind of strayed me. But then when you think about it, and you think about it like Captain T said and you said before, it's kind of sick because these brothers is literally fantasizing, like sleeping behind your sperm. Like niggas want to go up, knowing you just drilled. If that's your wife too, you just drilled her. You came all up in her, probably came in her mouth. And this nigga want to go up behind that, and then like that shit is crazy, bro. That is wild.
Yo, so now, Nay, right? This I'm gonna swing back towards you, right? Like when it comes down to what we were saying, like, you know, then why would they have to do this then, right? Two other points. Let's fast forward it to today. I know what your answer is gonna be, but for the public, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can answer this. Do you believe Sexy Red is talented?
You know she's not.
So we know
she's not talented.
So then why is, and we're gonna find out who she is, then why is, you understand, the most powerful man in the music industry right now, Lucian Grange, why is he pumping so much money behind her?
Because sex sells. Sex always sells.
You know what I'm saying? But you can get anybody, you can get somebody with talent, you can get somebody with lyrical prowess to sell sex.
No, because nobody talented promotes sex. You have other things to talk about.
But you don't, but what I'm saying is there's talent.
Think about it like this, right? Why is OnlyFans what it is now?
Because sex sells.
It's all about sex.
But you can sell sex without selling stupidity.
No, you can't.
You absolutely can.
You can't. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you can only sell sex because of the stupidity. Because if anybody had any knowledge or common sense, sex wouldn't be as what it is, right?
But then
brother,
because you got Rihanna, right? Rihanna, not all her songs is brain dead. Some of them, you know what I'm saying, is about love and XYZ. She still got titty tape on in the video.
No, okay, so with that logic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Queen Latifah sold.
What?
She sells sex.
But here's the thing, though.
So
who's
the Queen Latifah now?
I'm saying if we talk about hip hop, we're gonna talk about the whole genre. If you're gonna
talk about time errors, brother. We talking about time errors. He's saying
no, but you got to understand it now
because
you talked. But when you talked about 85 and growing up. So we have to understand the time frame we're speaking upon. We're talking about back then, or we're talking about now.
No, you said Sexy Red, right? You're talking about Sexy Red, right?
Yeah, he's talking about Sexy Red, but he's saying why sex sells. But what I'm saying is
that's what he's saying.
Sex doesn't have to sell, though.
No,
I think about it. Everybody's pushing sex, right? Everybody pushing sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are no men no more. Niggas feed into that. But back then, we would say, yo, nobody want no bitch like that. Nobody wanted bitches like that before.
Correct.
You say you wanted a bitch with class before, but nowadays everybody just want to smash shit.
But now, Nick,
I disagree. Let me skip this before I lose my train of thought.
But that's because sex is a big sale.
Hey, but all over the place. Adam, real quick, right? Because I was trying to drive a point home before we went off on that, right? And even with what you're saying, Queen Latifah's first album came out in '89. So now, for the context of the conversation, you know what I'm saying? That's 2 years before this supposed meeting would have happened, right? So meaning that's in the area of when there was still positive rap. And that's not to say that there's nothing positive that came out in the 90s, but in the 90s, marketability was also based off of lyrical prowess and substance. It's not based off of that now. And as time goes on, it got darker and then it got dumber. You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
I agree. It got darker and it got dumber because we like the conversation we had last week, right? We lack OGs nowadays. There's no guidance for nobody. You feel me? There's no guidance no more.
I mean, it's like this, brother. So you got these chicks. I wouldn't say sex. Like, you got to think about it. Regardless of what time period it is, sex is always sold. There's always been hoes. Period. It don't matter what time. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the rap shit, like, we definitely seen the change. Like from like you said, you had like Queen Latifah. You know what I mean? Like a chick who was knowledgeable. And when that shift came, like he said, when it dumbed down and we start talking about Sexy Red, like, you gotta understand, sex is just not a thing. Like, sex is this shit is about power. That shit is a power dynamic as well. So I think that's part of the thing that people get misconstrued. Because if it wasn't, I mean, look at your boy Diddy, African Bambaataa. That shit is like this music thing. It goes. I don't like to, like, when I was younger, I used to watch all that Illuminati shit, and that's how I really started looking into things. But it's just really simple. Like you said, I would agree. If you're gonna sell yourself and be that cheap, yeah, you dumb, but to a degree. I mean, think about it. How many women have slept their way to fucking power? Now, would you say the same thing about them?
But look at it like this though, right? When you was younger, right? How many times did your mother say, turn that shit off, you ain't listening to it? Parents don't do that shit no more. Parents don't do that no more.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You got, yo, listen, if I said a curse word around my house, bing, bow. You feel me? Now, it's funny when a 5-year-old is rapping Sexy Red and Cardi B and etc., right? So, sex, like how sex music is made now, it wasn't made like that before.
Right.
It
That's
just
what we go back to the
publicized
radio,
as
though.
much as it is now.
Right. We didn't hear that shit when we were kids. We didn't hear that. You know, that was unthinkable when we were kids. When we were on the radio.
But it was there, though. It just, there was no media. There wasn't phones. It wasn't pushed out the way it was now. You know what I'm saying? But think about it back then. We didn't see it on media, but you went outside and seen it. 42nd Street was nothing but sex sells. It was just a different way of seeing it. It's the same shit. It's just a different way of seeing it. Now you don't have to leave your crib to see it. That's the only difference. It's been the same narrative. The only thing is that is now it's more accessible than it used to be. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. And then, but think about it before. Now women are in a position of power to talk about sex, right? Before, back then, it was pimp shit. Men talked about sex. Women didn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't think that it's more mainstream though? Like what he's saying, like that's what you know, like it's just more mainstream now, like how these bitches is hoes. Because remember, like we did have our chicks, like you said, we had our little Kim, like she was wild. Then we had our Foxy Browns, but they wasn't like out there like that, like crazy, and it wasn't mainstream. So they were like, they weren't the norm. Like, I mean, that set them apart. You dig what I mean? So again, like it's just
that's just the evolution of everything. That's like you ain't gonna look at a porn in 1985 and look at a porn in 2024 and say it's the same porno. I ain't gonna have a lot of shit to it. You know what I'm saying? That's just evolution, bro.
I ain't gonna watch porn regardless.
I'm just saying, but you know what I'm saying. It's not gonna be the same thing. It's an evolution.
But if you're on the internet, man, you can't frame. You gonna watch some porn. You can't even.
Yo, but here's what happens though. Here's what happens though, right? This is what I mean, right? So like a couple of you know what I'm saying, like years ago, right? Y'all remember when like all the new young rappers all had rainbow hair?
Wait,
right.
What you mean?
Like Katashi wave or whatever.
You talking about around this era?
Yeah, like around this era, a couple years back, like everybody had rainbow hair. Right?
What's the other red dude had?
Trippy Red.
Yeah.
Even the white boy, I think one of them OD'd. You know what I'm saying? Like
Island Boys. Right?
You think that's not engineered? Like there's somebody at the top who's saying this is what we're doing right now, who's pushing that narrative. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, if you're at the top, right, you're controlling what's trickling down. So what I'm saying is, if you look at right now, attention is compartmentalized because everybody has a phone in their pocket and there's so much multimedia. We go back 30 years, 40 years. There's only a handful of media outlets. There's only, you know what I'm saying? Before Hot 97 set the standard, how many hip hop channels were there? You know what I'm saying? Before, you know what I'm saying? Like you got certain magazines. How is everybody able to digest information? It's either radio, TV, movies, and there's a handful of people in that conglomerate pushing that, which means they were able to engineer and create whatever they wanted. So as time, they perfected that shit. And that's my argument. My argument is whether this was an actual meeting, I believe this happened. And I got some evidence to present for it.
I'm not saying that I believe it happened. I don't believe the full context the way it happened, the way the letter was written. You know what I'm saying? But I believe it happened. And I believe a lot of people have been making money with industries and off of hip hop and etc. and, you know, wanting to promote certain shit. I definitely agree with that.
Yaquatas, I know you were trying to get. What was you trying to say?
If I may, if I can remember it though, you said something real heavy though, because like even back like late 80s, early 90s when we was kids, right? We saw a lot of videos, right? Like dance videos though, and we watched it, we liked it though. As kids though, and then like our older parents, like our aunts, uncles, older cousins, older brothers, etc. though, when they see like a high underrated video though that involves like a girl getting nude and all other stuff though, they tell us to go in the back room for a minute until it's totally over.
Correct.
That's how you know. That's how it started because they used to be like behind closed doors. So, but now they start to expose it more.
Correct. Remember, we waited till 12 o'clock for BT Uncut to see shit that we see on regular TV at 2 p.m. nowadays.
The box, nigga.
But you go far enough back on TV. Man and woman on if you watch like some old TV shows, man and woman didn't even sleep in the same bed. They've continuously eroded down the morals. What I'm saying is like yo, you know what I'm saying? Like you look at what they push for us, it's not what they push for them. You look at, you know what I'm saying? And same thing, and this is what I mean by how I don't want to hear nobody argue with me about if hip hop is black or Hispanic music. You know what I'm saying? Because you could turn around and tell me that white people be buying all the tickets. You could turn around and you could tell me, you know what I'm saying, XYZ about who's at the concerts, but ain't no white boys drilling. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of them hearing the music and getting locked up for the shit. Where you go? I know what you gonna say.
I'm not saying none. I agree with you on this one.
Because we gonna talk about Fabio and what he did with that white boy. That's coming too.
I don't think we should. I think we should leave it where it was at.
Now I wanna talk about how disgusted I am with him. You know what I'm saying? But my whole point is there's no way you're gonna tell me that the same people who control the media, because this is what I want to say. I done went and did the research, and there is a very small conglomerate of companies. You understand that? Or all subsidiaries of each other or on each other's boards that all not only control the media, the record labels, a part of the media, you know what I'm saying, but as well, you know what I'm saying, the prison system. Now, you can't tell me that they don't go hand in hand.
Of course it does. All that shit go hand in hand.
So then that means that a meeting like this might have taken place.
But that's my debate. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, yeah, but to further Kadazai's point, like he said, I mean, I don't know if one of y'all touched on it, but like he said, like the music videos, for instance, right? Y'all remember when we was growing up and we was watching, like, for instance, Tony Braxton and some shit, or fucking, you know, let's say LL Cool J, he had a video. You know the bitch in the video was going to be fly. It wasn't going to be no cellulite looking, just thick bitch in the video. This bitch was going to be a model. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we were looking at.
Facts.
And now, bruh, all you got to be is you just have, like I said, just put on some fucking stretch pants, slap up your ass a little bit, and you in the game. Like, and that shit is crazy because that's pushed our market so hard. And niggas like, come on, man. And they know, come on, bro. They know us brothers know we like that. Like, regardless of what, we like that shit. So that even indulges more on that temptation to just go fuck anything. And now you out there fucking anything, not even thinking just because you want this nut off, because it's how this frequency done got you. And now you gotta fuck the kid with a chick you don't want, or this bitch is crazy. Now your life is like, bro, it's so dumbed down, this music and the shit that they push on us. It's just detrimental in all ways. The drugs, the sex, the drug selling, drilling. It's just, there's nothing good about this shit, man.
And I just want to do one thing. Anybody who's watching us on another channel, I dropped the link in the chat for you to follow us on where this podcast actually broadcast at. So shout out to Cross the Line every single Thursday. I'm ending the streams on Cross the Line. So if y'all want to stay in, come tune in on Lost Tribes. All right.
I want to touch on what he just said, right? Which brings to the point that I was saying earlier, right? Now you see how all the drill shit, all the sex and all of that, and all, like, you know, all the exploitation about the shit, right? That's the way I was touching on last week, and I'm touching on this week as well. That's why I say we don't have no OGs no more, right? I remember when I was going uptown in the Bronx, right? If I had anything sticky on me or anything crazy, the first thing niggas say, get the fuck off the block, right? Now, you go on the block right now, there's a 12-year-old, 13-year-old flagging, banging with a 30-year-old. And I said it last week, I heard a 30-year-old call the fucking 20-year-old his OG.
Here's a classic one.
How he your OG? He younger than
Say
you.
here's a classic one.
Stay out of grown folks' business. Remember that?
But so therefore, you can't. Nobody's taught no more. You know what I'm saying? Right. So now you got 18, 17-year-olds running a block What do you expect a 17-year-old or 18-year-old do with a gun and time on the streets when there's no OGs there? Of course he's gonna act crazy. Of course he's gonna get on the track and talk about bang this, shoot that, bitch that, fuck
And
this.
brother, where does that lead to? And where does that lead to? Where does it lead to?
Yo, world destruction.
But now here,
it
but now
leads
here's
to them
the thing,
prisons that they needed. They was talking about in that.
Yes.
Like, that's exactly what that shit leads to.
But
here's
if it was beat before it even got there, right? If it was beat before it even got there, we would eliminate the fact that them kids even getting that far.
Yo, but walk with me now, right?
Yo, think about the community centers. I don't mean to cut you off, Kantazar, right? Yo, what these kids got to do nowadays? Once high school's over, right? Even if you attend high school, right? Once high school's over, what you gonna do? There's barely community centers, right? There's barely outreach programs. Nothing. There's nothing for nobody to do besides go out there and drill, right? So we got to put ourselves in the same shoes of these young niggas. Nigga, if we was living the life that they living now, we'd be doing the same stupid shit. We'd be doing the same shit.
But now, right? With what you were saying a second ago, let's say we look at what's happening on the block. That's one thing. There's a conscious decision that's being made by a record executive to now take that and say, this is the record that we want to break. You know how much it costs to break a record, like in a small demographic that's not New York? Like, meaning to have it in heavy rotation on the radio, 50,000.
Yeah.
250,000 to break one song nationally. So what I'm saying is there's a conscious decision being made that this is the content that we want on the radio right now. There's somebody controlling that narrative. Like there's somebody with deep pockets saying, yeah, this is what, you know what? Let me take it a step further. You ever see they didn't put it out, right? There was supposed to be a documentary that came out on Big L. Did you ever see the trailer for that shit and the end, what he said about the record executive?
I don't think I've seen that.
Let me pull
I can't recall.
Yeah, I can't recall.
Let me show y'all what I'm talking about right now. Hold on. Big L Street Struck documentary. Yeah, boom, right here. Let me show you something real quick.
How old was Big L when he died? 22, 21, 22?
20
Big L
something.
was very young, man. I think he was 24.
We got this right here. About 23, 24, something like that for sure. So now let's go invite. No, not invite. I'm sorry. Present. Share screen. Big L documentary. Peep game real quick, right? I'm going to slide right back here.
Yeah. I'm gonna explain the story. Check it out. Ayo, 5/30/74. A little bro was born with the mind of a psycho. They first knew I was a crazy nigga. When my mother came home and found out I killed the babysitter. I did more crime in due time. Started my life of crime. About 9 going out for mine. I made every little kid from my hood run. I was just like
we went up to Sony, right? We played this shit for the dude that was in charge, right? I don't know if he was some satanic worshiping motherfucker.
right, like,
Daddy was like, yeah, this is the shit right here. We gonna put this one out first.
So he telling the story, you know what I'm saying? So now this is Big L's track, and he, you know what I'm saying? He's sampling Nas where he's saying, you know what I'm saying? He's saying, I'm the devil's son. And he's saying, when I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. And so when they find it, they like, yeah, this is it. This is what we putting out. That's the message that the industry wants to put out.
I don't have no debate that they put out exactly what everybody want to see. But again, who's not going to sell what people want to hear anyway? We fucking buy the fucking content. It starts with the fucking people who buy the shit and watch the shit.
Do people want to hear that? Or are
Hell yeah, these motherfuckers want to hear that. We don't.
Because this is what
we don't, but
this is what I'm saying. People want to hear what's popular. You make something.
Nah, brother. This shit is a science, Pat. This shit is a science, man. It's like me, like he said, we don't want to hear this, brother.
I want to hear that shit.
Focus on what I'm saying,
We
real
don't
quick.
want to hear this. The kids do, because this is what they're growing up on. Like me and you, we all grew up on different types of music.
This is what I'm saying. Let me finish the point. This is the point. The point is, when you turn around and you look at, think about a song that comes on the radio that's trash, right? It's in heavy rotation. Let's say you at work, right? And they playing terrestrial radio. You hearing the song 10 times in one day. By the second day, you bobbing your head, you know the words. Because it's programming, bro. That's what I'm talking about. You can make something hot.
Just but how many songs in general do you know because of programming, whether if you liked it or not? There's some great songs in the back in the days that I can't stand, but I know the fucking words to it though.
Again, like I said, brother, it's a science. So you have soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if I don't give a fuck how many times you play that shit on the radio, if I hear heavy metal, I'm gonna go fucking crazy, bro. Like,
I don't even play the radio, bro.
Motherfucking mind. Like, but I'm saying, if you play that over and over like the radio does, I don't care what you're talking about. You're gonna know the word. I will lose my mind. I can't vibe to that shit at all, because that's not my soul. But you put some R&B on, and just like you said, I might not like it. It might not be my joint. I might learn the words to it, but I won't lose my mind. Put a white boy to listen to that shit, he's gonna lose his mind.
Yeah,
it's because you got a soul. Now, if a white boy, like, I don't understand it, and I'm not cracking on him, but I don't get it, like, because I did go to a white school. So when I first time went to a locker room and I hear this weird ass music, and these motherfuckers are like feeling it, like I mean, he was feeling it like we was listening to some raw ass G Unit back in the day when that shit, like, these niggas was feeling that shit, and I'm over there looking like, what the fuck is wrong with these? Like, I couldn't gist it. Now, maybe there's not something bro, I'm not cracking on them. Maybe there's not something wrong with them, but that's their soul. That's what they vibe to. They're on a different energy than we on. You know what I mean? That's why we can't listen to that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So when these kids is growing up and they're listening to this drill shit, I mean, it has our hip hop beat and shit. It has some, like, they use classic R&B beats back, like all kinds of shit. And it's a rhythm that these kids is catching. Now, me and you can listen to these songs and be like, yeah, you know what? That shit sounds fire, but that's not no shit that I want to listen to. Like NBA Youngboy. If you play NBA Youngboy, depending on what song it is, I might be like, oh, that shit was all right, but I don't want to, the wording on that shit, I don't want to listen to that shit. That shit ain't positive. You know what I mean? But these kids, they don't understand the difference. Their soul is not like our soul. Our soul got touched by different shit when we was coming up.
That's the main word. They soul. Fuck, not like our soul. They don't have no soul. You know what I'm saying? I know kids that I listen to just a little bit of R&B. That shit whack. What is that? They don't got no soul, bro. There's no soul in music for kids no more, bro. At all. No soul. That's the key word. No soul, bro. At all. At all. Now, just like you said, I don't debate the fact of the matter of whether if they control everything, but you have to understand, no matter what somebody pushes, somebody has to promote it and buy it, bro. And I don't care. Everybody still does it. Everybody still does it.
But so now here's the thing, though.
I mean, cut you off. How many times you done sent me music? I was like, bro, you settling.
Nah, that happens often. You know what I'm saying? Now, sometimes I agree with you. Other times it's something that I genuinely like because, you know what I'm saying? I certain times I like vibe music. But the difference is they're not playing anything with soul or substance. You think we can't find music with soul or substance out there? I'll find 3 songs right now. That's not being put on the radio. Sexy Red, Glorilla, Cardi. All these things are being put into the forefront because that's what they're orchestrating.
Some of our favorite rappers in the past never got radio play neither.
I mean, they never got radio play because, once again, it was about marketability. Somebody just said something about G Unit. You know what I'm saying? And what Banks himself say? The unit ain't fall off. It's all politics because they weren't inserted back into the machine.
They just did. A lot of them just didn't know how to go commercial like 50 did.
But it was the promotion too. The promotional budget died down. I'm telling you, bro.
They had the promotion they needed. They just couldn't go commercial.
A hit
is it was.
A hit is.
They couldn't go commercial. Yo couldn't go commercial. The only 2 people that went commercial was 50 in a game, and Buck was commercial before that, which is why look at Uncle Murder. Can't do shit. He ain't commerciable, bro. Yo, just think about this right here, right? Hip hop don't have no more Ja Rules, because if we did, the radio wouldn't sound like the way it does right now, right? We don't have no more soft ass commercial rappers.
You have Drake.
We do got
Drake fills that vacuum.
No, yo, I'm there with you. We do
that
have
space, that whole space.
The streets don't believe him though.
Nah, but But here's what here.
I believe Ja Rule at first. Don't lie.
All right, so walk with me, right? Walk with me, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Sequel, sure.
Whether or not we believe Ja Rule or not, right? And I think I said this last week, and this is what I mean about the caliber of an artist, right? Name, besides Holla Holla, right? Name me a solo Ja Rule hit.
Commercially or just him?
Hit, commercial.
Nigga.
Huh?
Nigga.
No,
on the Vinny Vinny Vici album.
No, listen, Vinny Vinny Vici, what I'm saying is...
classic album.
I'm not saying it's not a classic album. What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about the song you like. I'm talking about commercial success.
I just asked you that. You said not commercial.
No, that's what I said. Commercial success, radio, all that.
A lot of his songs are commercially blown up.
No. A lot of his songs
I like. No.
A lot of, not that you like, not that the streets like. But you know who likes it? Bitches do. Because here's what I'm saying. Because, walk with me. Because it was Ashanti. It was J-Lo. All his hits got a female on it, which is why I'm saying, was it him or was it the feature? You know what I'm saying? So
it was both. And the reason why I have to say the both, right? Hear me out. The reason why I gotta say the both.
And then I'm gonna land because I'm gonna show you why I'm saying it, because you see how you said you don't like those songs? Who likes all the songs with Ashanti?
All the females do.
So that's what I'm saying. So even though the streets don't, who loves Drake?
Who loves Sexy Red? The females.
Well, like
you don't got no niggas pumping for Sexy Red.
Nah, definitely not. You got a bunch of ratchet hoes pumping for Sexy Red.
No, the problem is there's no more niggas.
The problem is
no more niggas.
The problem is there's too many hoes. That's
the problem.
304s. 304s.
Yo, listen. Yo, shout out to all my young gangsters. Shout out to all my oil hitters. Shout out to all my young hustlers. But from what I see from the youth growing up, they ain't no men. There's no real shit, right? Everybody's a trend follower, right? Nobody's their own people at all no more, right? So if this kid says, yo, Sexy Red is it, some of these kids don't even know the fucking words. It's just Sexy Red is it, right? It's all trends. That's the problem nowadays. Everything's a trend, bro. Trend. Everything's trend. You know what I'm saying? Viral, trending. One of the biggest words nowadays is something going viral, right? Niggas don't even know the whole Kendrick Lamar song, right? But they not like us. You don't even know the other words. You know what I'm saying? How many songs can you sing nowadays verbatim, word for word? That just came out that you like.
I don't care about them.
No. I said that you like, right? A new song that you like.
I don't listen to radio.
Any song that you could sing word for word.
Word for word? Brand new. None.
Exactly.
There's not one.
Right? Now I could ask everybody here from back then, right? We could go for days words. You forget a song and hear the shit and know the fucking words right off the bat. But y'all forgot this song, but you know every fucking word to the song, right? Because that shit meant some shit. They was saying something, right?
There was a story behind it, yes.
Exactly, right? How hard is this to say, do this dance, do that dance, boogie your pussy, shoot the come at me, catch it. Like
hey man, so at the end table, like, let me ask y'all brothers on some G shit, because we seem like we all on the same page. We're there. Like we're there. I hope everybody sees it, but what y'all think about this death shit, this death culture in the game? Now, do you think, I know we got the drill, but where do you really think that shit stems from?
Now,
the death in the industry.
Now, what you saying?
That's right? Crazy. He brought that up because that was going to be the next topic.
That's actually a topic for another show.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying. So you know what I'm saying.
Go on a little bit though.
You know what I mean. We could definitely, but now I still after this want to circle back into the evidence to prove what I was saying about.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you.
About the what do you call it? But
we could do that.
When you're talking about as far as the death culture, right? You talking about as far as how all of these different, you know what I'm saying, young artists, right, over the last few years, whether it's Mo3, Smoke, what are you saying?
No, I'm talking about, so like brother said, we didn't have social media back then, so we don't know how many, because you got to remember, where you from, Kai?
I'm from New York.
We all from New York?
Yeah.
You heard?
All right, cool. Where you from, brother?
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Okay. All right. You still in there?
Stop top of New York, yo.
All right. So you gotta understand. We grew up in our New York section, so we don't really know. Because what got me crazy is when I started traveling. Oh, what's up, baby?
You from upstate?
Who?
You said Buffalo.
No, brother in the middle said Buffalo.
Oh, I was just messing with him.
Me, I'm from Queens.
Right. Everybody from Buffalo and Rochester heard the same thing about what's in New York and all the boroughs.
Yeah,
so
I just had to mess with them because when I say Staten Island, they mess with me.
So basically, so we got to remember when I started traveling, like first part I went to was Florida, and the music was so I didn't hear these artists at all. Like when I was in New York and I would go to Nevada, I didn't hear these artists that I would hear in New York. So back in the day, they had the same thing. So we don't know how many artists was getting knocked off, but we know the famous ones that were getting knocked off. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Bob Marley. All of these things, I mean, it is just not today. It's picked up like tremendously, but that's what I was trying to say. All of this shit.
I agree, man, because I did a lot of traveling too. I know when I went to Florida, they had somebody called bus driver, a lot of weird shit, and they had Pastor Troy down south. So that's definitely a thing. But you know, back then, music period, commercially was not transferred. You wouldn't hear down south shit in New York. You wouldn't hear New York shit down south.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You would not hear that shit. You know what I'm saying?
But now it goes way back in the day. So imagine like way back in the day before, you know what I mean? How long was this shit going on? Because they've been had artists all over the, you know what I mean? All over the states. So I believe that this shit has been going on for a long time. I believe that it's a ritual. I do believe in it because the evidence points to that. That's just my belief. I just wanted to, you ain't got to go into it. I just wanted to ask if you agree or not.
And real quick, when you said that, though, I ain't trying to go off topic, though. Like me doing a lot of traveling from state to state and globally, though, more people is familiar with Jay-Z than Nas. More people is more popular with Jay-Z than Nas. But even though, in my opinion, I prefer Nas a better rapper anyways, lyricist. Was it down south, like down south? Listen to Jay-Z, then listen to Nas. You don't hear too many people talk about Nas in the southern states.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna keep it real.
That machine.
Over the years, it used to be Nas over Jay for me. It's Jay over Nas now, and I'm gonna keep it real.
You're wilding. You know, I should end this right now.
Nah, bro, it is, yo, it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you why, bro. Because like one, I can't hear nobody teach me no more. Like I can't. Like, it's so hard for me to listen to somebody who's Muslim, 5%er, Rasta. You know what I'm saying? Christian, all on the same track, and it's like it just bothers me. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I
Jay-Z Basquiat, man. Like
want to acknowledge, bro.
Jay-Z running around like Basquiat.
You forgot one, Egypt.
Like,
yo, like when I then you commission on the same track, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, and that it is what it is. Like you know what I'm saying?
Why are we holding old niggas accountable for their mind laws? Like why are we doing that, bro? They did what they had to do.
It's because if Jay's talking to me, it's about financial literacy.
Who's your favorite rapper?
If ever X.
All right, his last albums are trash.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Mine right now will always be Jay. Ever. If I had to say favorite ever out of everybody, I'm gonna say J.L. Styles. But if I had to go with J.L. Styles lyrically, but storytelling is Nas. I like story.
You got two, brother. Who is it? Nas?
Because that's what you say. You were the one who told me Nas ain't no lyricist. He's a storyteller.
He is. I told you that. But I said if you speak on lyricists, I gotta go with either Styles or Jada.
Nas is so original, his
rap
style.
Because they two different type of lyricists, but if I like storytelling, I'm gonna go to Nas.
When you heard the rapping style of Nas, though, especially the old Nas, like Illmatic, Stillmatic, and even hip hop is
I just don't expect a rapper who's been doing it for so long to still sound so good at the end.
Still shit from nobody. He original. He was all soft, man.
I'm not holding Nas accountable for shit he do now. I will not do that to that man.
Yo, Kaz, you said your favorite rapper was X, right?
X of all time, yeah.
A line, Nas, like lyricist. You smoking crack.
I said you got two. You got X, and who would you put behind him?
Directly behind him?
Yeah. If you had to rock with two, these are my two.
I have to pick two.
Mm-hmm. But you don't have to. You don't have to.
It's either gonna be Nas or Jada after him.
Who you got, Adam?
Buffalo. Oh, I was gonna ask Buffalo.
He said I'm last.
But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about as far as me ranking overall. Who I want to listen, I'll put on Jay before Nas today, present day.
Everybody got, you know what? Everybody's got their own.
Everybody got their
I
own
listen
shit.
to
Yeah.
him for this, and I listen to him for that. I'm just asking, who do you rock with? Just the two dudes you put in your shit and be like, this, I'm going to the end with this shit.
I mean, anybody I just named, I'm going to the end. I listen to, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's definitely like what he said: Jada, Styles, Nas, Jay, X.
Damn, this motherfucker gave me 2 times 3.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like that's, bro. I consume music. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like,
I got you. I just wanted to get the mind frame. So, Red Hat. Pardon me, bro. No disrespect. I didn't get your name, but you said you. Who was your 2? You say?
And now today.
All time.
Like, cause it's a lot though, you know. So I can't think of it though. I just know Nas is one of them though. You know, Jadakiss, cause Mike. I learned this though. I'm not too much about like with hip hop history though, but I learned this though. You can rap and be a lyricist though, but if your style is whack, it don't mean shit though. It's like me. I can rap the same shit that a lot of nicest rappers that we hear now and that you don't fucking hear about though. But if just by your style of rapping, when you study somebody though, if it just sounds trash, it really don't mean nothing.
I got you.
You know that. Who you got, Adam? What's your style
of rapping?
There's a style of rapping, you said, bro?
It's the style of rapping when you hear somebody. That's just like me rapping what Jay-Z rapping or Nas rapping or DMX rapping. That's just like me rapping it though. I'm not gonna sound right. My style.
I got you.
So
yeah, my 2. If I had to. Yeah, my 2, I'm going with Pac, and then I'm going with 50. You know what I mean? Because I like Pac's energy. I like his story. And, like, his storytelling is crazy. And that shit, this man's still making, niggas probably going to drop an album next month. Like, Pac still got shit coming out. The reason why I would go with 50 is because I'm more of a story. Like, I like a motherfucker to tell me a story. I like where this shit is going. And I like Pac's storytelling, which is why I got Pac. And then 50, his storytelling is just more. If I want to get more intense, like I want to listen to that more intense shit, he got that, bro. Like, and both of them, think about it. Tupac, he came out, he caused the wave. 50,
Pac is my number 3. Pac does I know that. Pac is my number 3.
He came out, that nigga had niggas working out.
He's overrated.
You know what I mean? Like,
we had this conversation. Don't do that, bro.
We're gonna have it again one day, public.
There's no way Pac is overrated, bro.
Pac is overrated.
Oh no, I mean, you could think that. Like, I think Biggie's overrated, and I'm from New York.
That's because Biggie is overrated.
Wayne. Little Wayne.
Overrated.
Little Wayne, in my opinion, he nice though. I listen to some of Little Wayne stuff though. Don't get me wrong though. You gotta have some Little Wayne.
Little Wayne is a GOAT. He's definitely Wayne, top 5. Wayne is definitely top 5.
I mean, that could be opinion based. I fuck with Wayne. I fuck with Wayne in some joints, some of the joints.
Wayne killed everybody on the track. I don't care who.
Hey, but you know the unique thing about Wayne. Wayne is the only nigga that freestyle and rap in anybody music or.
That's just because he be high, bro. That ain't because he just be high, bro.
That's what's unique about Lil
Wayne.
He
just be high, bro. He don't even remember the shit that he be saying, bro.
Hey, brother, some of them niggas like that. You say some niggas like that.
Lyrically, Wayne is nice, bro. Lyrically, Wayne is nice.
I like some of Wayne's stuff, though. Don't get me wrong. I like some of
Wayne is nice.
I can't do it.
Hey, hold on.
He got some tracks.
But before we get into top 5s, right? Because we can talk about top 5. I want to do episodes with top 5s. I want to circle back to what we were saying because we way off topic now.
Word.
So we started this, right, to talk about, did the labels create gangster rap and to fund the prisons? Is it facts or is it cap? And we
went with facts. I said
facts. We all said facts.
Yeah. Y'all say facts, but earlier you were saying that with the meeting, you said you had pushback for the meeting.
Something took place, right? I just don't think the way he wrote a letter and somebody wrote the anonymous, I don't think it went down like that. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's added bullshit to a meeting that did happen. You know what I'm saying? For all we know, he could be the one who fucking put who was there. You know what I'm saying? For all we know.
He said he was there.
But the thing is, do we need the letter? Do we need that shit?
Boom. We don't need the letter.
So now, I think we need the letter as a catalyst because otherwise nobody's talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But as
No, Kadazat,
Nah,
nobody's
because he
talking
could have said
about
he
it
was
because-
there. He could have came up with
Word.
anything. The letter's just a prop.
And nobody's talking about it. First of all, if you write a letter like that, and like we all discussed, we all on the same mind frame. We know what these companies, these labels will do to you, bro. If you go out there and you spit some shit that you not, or you go against the grain, either you're gonna be blackballed, depending on what you do and the level you've done it. You put up some shit like that, and you put your name
I've
behind
seen
it,
it,
you
bro.
you
I've
might
seen
get
it happen
killed.
to a lot of artists that I was personally
But
with, bro.
regardless, like I don't need that letter. And I've been talking, like brothers have been talking about this shit. And it's been picking up since I would say about like 2010, 2012. It's been really picking up. These artists don't say
even talking about it like that. Look how many people are now starting to go independent. Why independent is not a thing so much now. You know what I'm saying? So it just tells like nobody fucking with the labels no more like that.
People are starting to go independent because you got so much information on social media. Like a lot of people didn't know that while TLC was calling all of us scrubs, they were filing for bankruptcy.
Got him.
I'm saying like
got him.
A lot of people don't know, you know what I'm saying? Really, like if not for social media, people don't understand what 360 deals were doing. People don't understand that the label was giving you the highest interest loan that you were ever getting, and that none of that money was really yours. All of that had to be paid back with wild amounts of interest. You know what I'm saying? That the label is basically just a bank. You know what I'm saying?
No cat. That's no cat. That's no cat. And to add on to that, like I remember I was watching this little documentary. Now y'all remember like when music was popping back in the day, because remember you had especially when CDs first came out, but it wasn't a thing. But remember, you still had your CDs, but you had your cassettes, and even in the CDs and the cassettes, you had your artwork and all these things. Like all these things were selling for these artists, and these labels were making hand over fist. And I'm thinking like, damn, I remember this pop group. I think it was called the Backstreet Boys, or it was NSYNC, one of these shits. And they were telling a story how they got to the table with their manager or whatever. And it was time to, he was selling, they're gonna cut him a check. And now these dudes made y'all remember, we don't listen to this shit, but we couldn't like run from it. It was everywhere. These white niggas running around and generated billions of dollars. They sat at the table with this manager. Can you guess the check that this nigga cut them?
Well, how much?
$10,000.
$15,000.
$10,000. And this is Justin Timberlake and whoever he was with. I don't know his group, but I know he was in there, and this dude offered $10,000 a check. Ate that shit up. And this is the same manager. And if you always know, there's always recurring theme. These niggas seem to be pedophiles, always offering these kids some sort of sex for some fucking position. The same manager he got caught doing. And it's the same shit in hip hop. It's the same shit everywhere. Music, movies, Hollywood. That's why I say I'm good, my nigga. I'll stay medium level in this life, because all these rich dudes that got these contracts and you think they live in a life always wind up going crazy or dying on some weird shit. And I gotta wonder why. You dig?
Now, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? But with everything that I was saying, for anybody who does not know, you know what I'm saying, as far as what we were talking about, you know what I'm saying? And I'm with you on that. But everybody now knows because of TikTok, which is why I think they're trying to shut TikTok down, because that's a media outlet that they don't control.
They've been trying to shut TikTok down for like 2 years.
Because of the shorts that's all coming all over YouTube, XYZ, right? But with what we were talking about earlier, I believe a meeting like this had directly happened. And the reason being is because, like, let's just slide down, right? Some of y'all now know, once again, but BlackRock is the biggest company you never heard of. If y'all never heard of this company, right? It says, according to Market Watch, there's currently around $40 trillion in circulation around the world, right? If we go up above, the world's largest asset manager with $10 trillion in its portfolio. That means this one company has control of a quarter of Earth's money. That's 25% of Earth's money. They are the number one shareholders of Tesla, Amazon, everything it is that you could think of, right? And now it says a media monolith. BlackRock and Vanguard are two of these, you know what I'm saying, three passive fund asset managers. Now, let me ask you something, right? Oh, now it's going to say it. And the third is State Street. State Street is owned by BlackRock, whose largest shareholder is Vanguard. So Vanguard's at the top. Right underneath Vanguard is BlackRock. Right underneath BlackRock is State Street. Right underneath State Street is Berkshire Hathaway. All these companies own each other. Y'all with me so far?
Yes, sir.
So now, Vanguard and BlackRock are the top two owners of Time Warner, Comcast, Disney, the News Corp, 4 of the 6 media companies that control more than 90% of the U.S. media's landscape. Together, BlackRock and Vanguard own 18% of Fox, CBS, Comcast, NBC, MSNBC, CNBC, and the Sky Media Group. So, like, when people think like Viacom is it, these are the cats that own Viacom. These are the cats that's at the top of Spotify. You listen, any single one of y'all, all you have to do, I mean, anybody out there, all you got to do is turn around and type in who's the number one shareholder of Walmart. You're either going to see SST for State Street, you're going to see BlackRock, you're going to see Vanguard. You know what I'm saying? You can type in Boeing, jet fuel. You could type in absolutely any single one of those. This is the company's going to come up. So now let me ask you something then. So who do you think is the number one shareholder of Universal? Atlantic. You know what I'm saying? Warner. Let's talk about it.
It's actually interesting.
You know what I'm saying? There's something right now called the Big Three. When
Are you sure you can talk about it?
Why
Are
can't
you sure, Kat? Because you know the people you're gonna have to talk about.
See, so now walk with me, right? It says the 3 major record labels in the music industry are Universal Music Group, Sony Music, and Warner Music Group, right? They control the majority of this, right? So now, who do y'all think is the number one owner when it comes down to Warner Music Group?
I couldn't tell you.
Like, I'm a slide over because, you know what I'm saying? I know my people don't like to read. You know what I'm saying?
I can guess.
So I'm gonna stop
And
sharing
be right.
for a minute, and then I'm gonna present. I'm gonna go share screen. I'm gonna slide over to, right here. Y'all ever see these right here? Boeing, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Exxon, PayPal, Walmart, Chevron, Lowe's.
All Jewish controlled.
All of this is owned by BlackRock. All of this is owned by Vanguard. All of this is owned by State Street.
Which we all use.
This is literally not only what everybody uses, this is what all of us use, right? And now, who do you think is sitting at the top of the label? So now let's take it a step further. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I'm saying that this meeting, in some capacity, had to happen. So now I'm gonna go present. I'm gonna share my screen one more time, and then I'm gonna come right down here. So now, this is BlackRock and Vanguard are the biggest investors in private prisons. Prison operators have been thrust into the spotlight recently. Many of them run the controversial immigrant detention centers near the U.S. border with Mexico. So that means they run in ICE. They run in those detention centers. That sure as hell means they run in FEMA. And that means if we flip it off, that they run in all of the private, you know what I'm saying, prison systems. So it says 2 of these companies, Core Civic and CEO Group, Geo Group, are publicly traded. So many may hold them in an index fund or ETF as a part of their portfolio or retirement account, like a 401k or IRA, without knowing it. Vanguard and iShare owner BlackRock are 2 of the largest holders of Core Civic and GEO. Both stocks are held mainly in passive funds that mimic indexes that include the companies such as S&P Midcap 400, Russell 2000, and the benchmark real estate, which means these cats are the ones who's controlling all of these private prisons. So now you mean to tell me with these indexes and these portfolios, as they're controlling media, that they're not going to want to keep pushing Sexy Red, that they're not going to want to keep pushing Drill, that they're not going to want to keep pushing all this bullshit? Like, let's be real.
I don't debate that. As I said, I'm not debating any of that shit, bro. And I ain't surprised. You know what I'm saying? But then we got to ask, what do we do about that?
So What we do about that, here's what I'm gonna tell y'all. What we got to do is we got to stop sitting down and blaming, you know what I'm saying, 18-year-old rappers for 50-year-old problems. You know what I'm saying? Because it has to do with a handful of things. One, that there was no fathers in rap. That there was nobody who came together, you understand, in any form of a conglomerate to try to get a hold and be gatekeepers for this, you understand, community and for this subculture. Two, we have to start getting into our own. And once again, like what, and now this is a shameless plug. Now, why you think I created Tribe Vibes? Why you think I created an invite-only platform that we control and run that's got real music on it? Because we got to start getting away from that media giant. We got to stop like we should be boycotting the radios if they don't want to play nothing good. We should be, you understand, protesting the record labels. We should be turning around and saying, yo, like now we were talking about death culture earlier, right? And this is kind of like an area that I want to get into in the future. But I don't know about y'all. I feel like Pop Smoke was a major loss. I don't know how y'all feel about
it. It was a major loss.
Saying I feel as though Pop Smoke was somebody got a reverb. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got us on a speaker in the background, but like I'm hearing a reverb in the background, right?
Yeah, mine was muted.
No, it could be me.
I think it was your Quataza. You know what I'm saying? But so now think about this, and this is something that I want to talk about in the future coming up. Pop Smoke, everything that he talked about was send me to Addy, I'm hunting him down. It was drill music. Everything, you understand? Him, Fabio, all that. All about sliding. Ain't that what happened to him, though? Like, why is there so much outrage at the cat who unalived Pop Smoke? Isn't that the real nigga? Like, I thought you're supposed to respect the shooter. So, don't tell me that you're only bothered, you understand, by somebody completing a mission if it's somebody you love and somebody you favor. Because if we go off of his music, then that kid 18 that they just released now, I mean, yo, isn't he supposed to be glorified? Shouldn't he have the stripes? Shouldn't y'all be honoring him and saluting him because he did what Pop Smoke told you to do in the music? And that's not to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think it's a loss. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, I want me to cut you off. What point are you making by that? Like, by saying that?
My point in making it is we're all sick.
I'm saying, like, you also supposed to respect the shooter, not the one who got shot. But that's like saying respect the drugs that killed a lot of other people too. Like,
and real quick though, if I may, the Saturday before last Saturday though, when I left camp though, I hopped in a bus. A brother from Brooklyn was speaking to me about like what's my thing about with Pop Smoke, and I said like my situation though, unfortunately the brother is gone though. You know I don't know no personal background about him though, but unfortunately gone though, and I was like letting him know that like it's the reason why like that our people should have proper gatekeeper. And what the brother above me in the picture was saying earlier though, like we need better proper leaders, responsible gatekeepers though, so none of this could be happening more often,
But now even with what you're saying, like what's my point? My point is, and this is what I mean, we all got to be a little sick if we love that music, and then when it happens in real life, we hurt, which means we not supposed to be living like that. That is not the norm.
So what should they talk about in hip hop?
So what should they talk about in hip hop? I mean,
because hip hop is what you live in, right? That's the good thing about hip hop. Talk about what you live in and talk about what you experience. Talk about what your life's been like, right? I think that's the best part of hip hop. It's talking about your experiences and shit you lived or shit you possibly live in.
Right. Now here's the problem. We have people who are not living what they're saying, and they're still promoting the negative message. And so we got two things happening at once. We got like a double prong attack. We got the people at the top who want to promote the negativity. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, if I see Fabio, if I see somebody making X amount of dollars making drill music, and I want to make money, and I know that this is what they want, I'm going to go in that direction if I'm young, if I'm 17, if I'm 16, if I'm impressionable, because that's where the bag's at, because people aren't chasing passions anymore. They chasing the bandwagon for the check. You know what I'm saying? People do not love the music no more. Now, slide off of that. You saying, what should they be making? You got to make something that's real to you. But Future raps about Molly and Percocets and don't do Molly and Percocet. You understand? 6ix9ine wasn't doing none of that shit that he was talking about. You get what I'm saying? We have people who are now being put in the forefront who's pushing these agendas just for a bag, and they pushing the negativity. They pushing the shit.
And if I may, hold on. Prior to that, though, what you said is extremely heavy, though, because before 6ix9ine, in the early 2000s, I say like the 80s and 90s is probably like the most thoroughest, though, when it came to like real shit in the streets, though. But starting from the early 2000s, it was like, that's what it was like the beginning of a lot of studio commercial as rappers, studio commercial rappers that speaking that shit and they really live it like it, for real. That's real talk, you know. Because I'm gonna be 1,000. Like I grew up in the street, right? But ain't nothing gangster about me. I grew up with street niggas though, but ain't nothing gangster about me. I don't live that shit though. I just been around people who was about that life though, real street niggas though. But me, I'm not that, you know. So I don't have to like commercial or, you know, being a fucking camera to speak something that I'm not though, because you're gonna get exposed eventually.
Does gangster rap exist anymore?
Drill music, man.
As far as gangster rap exists in a mutated form in different pockets, whether it's drill, whether it's UK drill, whether it's I mean, what would you say? You from
because my thing is I just feel like a lot of people, especially us older people and people older than us, don't understand that hip hop has changed, right? Eric B and Rakim wasn't talking about shit that 50 talked about, right? That shit sounds stupid. All that tough shit that Styles, Jada, etc. talked about in our era. They wasn't talking about that shit. They were talking about pimp shit, getting fly, and money and bitches, right? They were talking no really tough shit. They were talking about the pissy hallways, simple shit that we could relate to, but it wasn't no gangster shit, right? The gangster shit really came in our era mostly, right? Banging was a thing, flagging was a thing, being part of a set was a thing, holding your hammer was a thing, popping a nigga was a thing. That I could say that was the aura of gangster rap, right? So I think it's real hypocritical for us to be part of the same era where it just has evolutionalized that we have a problem with because it came from our era anyway.
So now this is why I don't think that it's hypocritical, right? And this is where it comes down to. Before I knew better, I'm plugged into that matrix. I'm plugged into that system because it's just what I know. It's what I digest. It's what's around me. As time goes on, though, my thought process gets elevated, and now I start to realize the sickness. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you know better, you're supposed to do better. It's hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? If I say nothing.
You made a point over a point. That's a fact.
Because I think that it starts, to be honest with you, ain't nobody really touched on it. Maybe we did before, but that shit starts with accountability. Like from
it does start with accountability.
Us, period. I'm not even gonna just say the home. I'm talking about us in general. Like, for instance, like I'm fascinated for some reason. Like when Suge Knight dropped that little shit that he dropped, but then it fascinated me after like 3 episodes because I'm like, okay, Suge, you telling your story. Why the fuck you telling it with this white boy? You know what I mean? Like you could have generated that money with another brother, literally. You had any choice, you could have did that with and made even more money.
Talking about?
Suge, when he got locked up. I don't even want to promote this shit. You know what I mean? But he just did some shit. Basically, that's the type of shit that I'm talking about all around, from home, the community, to just doing business with each other. Like stop running to these fucking record labels and doing business with these white people because it never ends well. And obviously, they taking a heavy advantage of our shit. They taking our shit that was knowledgeable, that was great, that had soul, that had rhythm, and look what they turned that shit into. Because we don't learn not to do business with this white man, and I don't know why.
who your parents listen to, right? Who your parents listen to growing up?
Shit, my parents, you got Barry White, Gerald Levert.
That's where you got your soul
Vandross.
from, right? That's where you got your soul from. Who did we listen to growing up? Mostly.
You got it. You got
right?
it. Mm-hmm.
So we ain't put that much soul into kids that's there now. You gotta understand, they talking the shit they are living. Whether if it's fake or not, in Chicago, they all pulling niggas' heads off. In the Bronx, it's a dead zone over there, right? They talking what they know. They talking what they know. You know what I'm saying?
But here's
just like our favorite rappers did, bro.
But be honest though, brother. But be honest though, brother. Look at their parents. Like, we're talking about children. These children that you're talking about, like my son is 20. So these are the kids that we are raising. And the problem is that some of us don't want to fucking grow up. These motherfuckers, you look at their parents and you look at their moms, no disrespect, bro. But like Kadasat said, they still stuck in that little sickness of being a fucking 6-year-old. They don't even want to be a fucking parent. They're going to be their fucking friend's son. I mean, their son's friend and yada, yada.
So now who do you blame? Do you blame hip-hop and the executives, or do you go back to the house is what I was saying?
No, brother, I blame all of us. We're all in this shit. The community, to the household, to everybody doing business with this devil.
The labels are just modern day OGs, right? When you was growing, it's a
Who
fact,
makes
bro.
the labels though?
When
bro?
you was growing
Who
up,
makes
right?
the labels? Who makes the labels? The labels ain't shit without the artists. The labels ain't shit.
It would just be a different sound of music. It'll just be a different sound of music. That's what it was before.
Yo, but that's
It'll just be a different sound of music. That's why commercial rap is not so commercial anymore. That's why it's so prerogative now.
But
it'll be just different commercial.
But that's what I was saying, because we let that shit get into the hands of the devil that take our art that was knowledgeable. Yo, when I used to listen to Queen Latifah or KRS-One, I used to like that shit. I used to like that shit. There was no problem with it, and it was Southern. But once we had, like, once these motherfuckers found out the game, like, okay, this is gonna be because the black man is the rhythm of the world. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. As we go, the world goes. What we make cool is what's gonna be in fashion. There's no argument about it. They figured that shit out. They monopolized our game and they perverted our game.
I don't disagree, but I just hate that when people talk about hip hop, they feel like hip hop don't have no evolution. You wouldn't expect the NBA to be the same the way it was before. You wouldn't accept the NFL if it was the same way it was before. Hold on, let me finish. There's bullshit in the NBA going on. A lot of sucker deals, a lot of shit going on in those systems too. Exploited. Yo, did you not realize, right, that 90%, not even 90%, 100% of college athletes were not getting paid, right? They did that shit, right? So now they stopped making games, they stopped promoting college sports in general, right? But now college is no longer viewed no more. Guess what they're coming out with again? A bunch of college games, right?
But look at the new contract. That
hold on. This is what I'm saying, right? I think that there's certain areas, right, where what you're calling an evolution, there was growth. I like that there's not a strict norm and people can experiment and go into anywhere when it comes down to the sounds, the tempos, the BPMs, the collaborations. You know what I'm saying? That part of evolution is cool. But we de-evolved as far as substance is concerned. Like that's why I keep talking about the lyrical prowess, the concept songs, you know what I'm saying? The vocabulary, you know what I mean? The even what we talked about, how soul dropped down. There's no soul in music anymore. So that all has to do with that de-evolution that we're talking about, that things started to step down and downgrade, and that's the machine's fault. Because like I said, I don't know.
The reason why I disagree.
But real quick, this is why I'm saying it. It's because I can find music with substance right now. It's not in heavy rotation. We're not going to hear it.
It's what they're putting out. The machine's putting out. But brother,
I have to disagree with that shit.
Brother, before you spit, because when you were saying that, you didn't expect things to see the word evolve. When you evolve, you're supposed to, like, an animal evolves and it adapts to its environment and it gets better. That's what you know what I mean? You're using that word, I just think, incorrectly. But
it is evolution because look at what rappers are getting paid now compared to what they was getting paid before.
Okay, but brother, let me finish the idea though. Because what Kyle is saying, if he got the right word, we de-evolve. Like we dumbed down our music, so we did not evolve at all. If you think about it, because if you want to use the word evolve, it's like, what do we evolve? It's like we got perverted, we got dumbed down. So I don't see us. We evolve, but not positively. Like when you use the word evolve, it could be in a positive form. It don't have to be, oh well, these kids, it just evolved, and it didn't have to be the way it is now. Is what I'm saying. We could have evolved, but did it have to be perverted?
We never evolved as people. As the industry, it did evolve. Two different topics.
So what are you saying evolved?
Hip hop evolved as an artist. These artists get paid millions to do shit when back then they was still starving. So as artists, yes, evolution. As wages, people, we still stuck in the same place. We still stuck in the same place, people, as we was from back then to now.
Yo, so now,
if we talk about artists compared to as a whole, yeah, those are two different debates.
It's one thing when it comes down to, and this is a conversation that I even had the other day, right?
Pioneer artists is going independent is not evolution. Rappers couldn't go independent before. That's evolution. That's making their own record labels. That's evolution.
That's evolution as far as progress for independence and people starting to grow in that area.
That's monetary evolution, brother. That's monetary.
Hold on. But they do not have the deep enough pockets to compete with the machine that's controlling what the masses are actually hearing. So you could find something like we could go and we could find some independent artists, every single one of us that we like, right? And maybe they're getting to a smaller bag. Maybe you understand music is paying their bills, or maybe they're at large successful, like that cornball Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas is getting a bag right now. You don't hear him in heavy rotation on radio. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's top 3 rappers, I never heard any of them niggas say shit that was positive. They all gangster rappers. All of y'all top 3s.
That was from the era as far as we came in. You know what I'm saying? And you
it's the same difference, bro. It's the same difference. You're just like your parents told you that the shit that you was listening to when you was fucking trash. It's the same difference.
Hold on.
It's the same difference.
I have heard
the same difference.
Wait.
Your parents told you the shit you were listening to was garbage.
Hold on. Come on. You almost hit me. You almost hit me.
It's true.
You almost hit me with the bullshit real quick, right? Because hold up, I have heard positive songs from Jada. I have heard positive songs from Nas. I have heard positive songs from Jay. And I have heard positive songs from X.
But I never heard you talk about Talib Kweli's positive songs, Black Thought's positive songs. We talking about gangster rappers. When we have black rappers, we talk nothing but positivity on the regular.
I like Black Thought, but here's another thing. First of all, wait, hold on.
The streets. That's where we come from.
First of all,
because we're smart niggas now. Come on.
I like Mos Def over Talib. And here's another thing. I got personal beef with Talib. And if I ever see him, I'm smacking the shit out of him.
Well, I'm gonna follow up.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You heard it right here on Facts on Wax. You understand? Captain Katazar says Talib Kweli is pussy.
I'm not gonna cap. I'm not gonna say you disrespectful, because what's crazy is when I used to work at a black car company, he used to service with us, and I was like, oh shit, it was the first time I spoke to him, and I was young, so I'm like, oh shit, I try to kick it with him just a little bit, but not extra. And this dude was an asshole. So if you do, hey brother, more power to you. I'm trying to tell you, just like I'm trying to tell you, I have a personal issue, right? And I'm not gonna say like, you know what I'm saying, like, but if I see him, I'm gonna say, hey, XYZ. And if anything go left, I'm just letting you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck him.
But that's the same shit these drill rappers are doing.
Nah.
What you mean? Nah, that's the same thing they doing. What you mean? Come on.
Now, hey, Buffalo, you got to agree, though. There's certain rappers that do need to get smacked, though, just universally.
And here's a lot of people need to be smacked in
general. Nay, here's something else, too, right? I would love to hear another genre of music, right? But there's no masculinity, and there's still masculinity in gangster rap, a form of it. You get what I'm saying? So me being a man, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't about to hear no Christian rap. I don't want to hear no Kumbaya, my Lord shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and here's something else too. And this is why I think gospel and Christian rap is worse than drill music, because more people are gonna listen to drill music and not go murder somebody. But somebody who's listening
But
to
y'all do the same thing though.
Hold on. He listening to Christian rap and he believe in white Jesus. He worshiping another God.
But I'm saying y'all kind of do the same thing though. What people wouldn't see to where y'all at though. People
I love that this
is happening.
I can't hear him. What'd you say?
I said y'all kind of do the same thing though, where people don't have the same beliefs that y'all believe in, but y'all rap about shit that y'all believe in. You know what I'm saying? That's like me coming in and listening to what y'all saying and saying that shit's boo. Like,
but what I mean is, people who listen to Christian rap believe in that, and I'm saying that they believe in another God. What I'm saying is, people who listen to gangster rap, you can have 1 million people listen to gangster rap. I guarantee you, out of those 1 million people, ain't none of them going to kill nobody tonight.
I agree on that. Like, that's not debatable. That's not debatable. You know what I'm saying? That is not debatable.
But 1 million Christians listening to gospel, praying to Caesar Borgia and white Jesus.
I ain't getting into all that, but I don't I don't debate any of that. But I'm just saying, here's my point before so we can move on, right? Like, as I was saying before you started speaking, right?
And we got like 10 minutes before we
I feel like I do feel like us as a people today forget that the same shit that we talk about has been talked about 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? By the same people who fucking raised us to the same shit that we saying about the shit that we listen to is what they were saying about the shit that same fucking program. Yo, this shit is trash. It sounds stupid. Y'all parents did the same shit, bro. They also the same shit, bro. So it's still the same. It's still the same circle, bro.
And that's because we got the same people who are continuously.
It's because they don't understand, because we're no longer living that life. If we was outside with those kids, we'd be talking about the same shit, but we're not, so we can't talk about it.
I agree with that point. But what I'm saying is, if not for the industry, right, choosing to pervade, walk with me, right? Let's just hypothetical situation, right? I hate to deal with what ifs, but in this situation, I will.
Okay.
If the industry would not allow you to profit off of drill music, if they wouldn't invest in it, if they wouldn't play it, it would
still be heard.
If YouTube would ban it, if you know what I'm saying, hell nah.
Yes, it would.
It wouldn't be profitable. Nobody would.
Most of the gangster music you heard was not sold. You had to go to the corner to go buy the mixtape.
We talking.
You still heard it.
When
mixtapes became a thing.
When
you wasn't going to the store to buy a mixtape, you was going to the block.
How many gangsta? Listen, since '91, how many? Listen, NWA.
90% of your favorite songs are on a mixtape.
Mixtapes came out like.
Come on.
Heat 50 Cent went platinum.
Brother, mixtape came out
50 Cent's biggest projects were on a mixtape.
I'm not saying that they weren't on a mixtape, but you making it sound like there's no gangsta albums that came out.
No, what I'm saying is that it still would have been heard, even if those big people wouldn't have been producing it. We would have still heard it.
This is what I'm saying, right? At the same time that people are producing gangsta mixtapes, there's also gangsta music in the mainstream, correct?
Right today, yes.
Which is why.
Which is drill music.
Hold on. Which is why you have people making gangsta mixtapes, because they're trying to elevate in the mainstream.
But there's no gangsta mixtapes now, though.
If there's no mixtapes now, the mixtape game is dead right now. Yeah. So my point is, the reason as to why there would be a mixtape in the first place, because they're emulating what's in the mainstream. If that's not the mainstream
reason for mixtapes was because that shit wasn't commercial to sell. You couldn't put out shit to sell before. You couldn't put that out before.
Then how
it had to be on a mixtape? Mixtapes how is you on commercially, brother? That's what
you couldn't go commercial.
Walk with me.
Nah, but I'm saying this would have got you on. You know what I mean? Like that's what
put them on. But when all right, you had 50 with the ghetto Quran crazy shit, right? And then when he got commercial, it was go. It's your birthday. We going. He wasn't talking so crazy shit like that.
You talking the same album that Heat's on. If there's beef, cock it and dump it, the drama really means
but he already had the commercial songs to put out, though. They wasn't putting that out.
And blow your brains out. This is what he's saying.
Because the commercial put that there for him to do that, though. Without the commercial songs, that song don't get played. It don't exist on the album.
But if what you're saying
that's not what they was promoting, that's just what you heard on the album.
If what you're saying is true, then there would be no gangster tracks on the album to begin with.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Hear me, right?
I hear you.
No.
No shit. Hey, brothers, I know you said you had 10 minutes left before.
Yeah,
right?
5 minutes left.
I'm gonna make this quick.
All right.
I'm gonna make this quick.
Right, cool.
We have to
commercial rappers
exchange because me and him been agreeing too much.
Right? Just listen,
right? That's
commercial.
Cool, but, hey, I did holler at you in the chat to say I needed to holler at you a Cat T. So you could let him go, but at least give me 1 minute before we end.
I got you.
Cool. Real quick, I'm not debating what you're saying, right? The gangster songs, there's plenty of songs, albums that got gangster songs on them, but that's not what was promoted to get that album sold. It was the commercial song. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It was the commercial song that allowed that artist to be able to sell to the white people and to the hood at the same time. If they would have went one way, that's why Ja Rule dropped, because nobody was believing him in the hood no more. That's why when 50 started rapping about his shit, once the commercial, nobody believe in the streets no more. Niggas ain't buying his album. That's why he flopped.
Ja Rule. That's
why he flopped. The streets stopped believing him, bro.
No, that's not why he believing him. Ja Rule got hit.
The street card got taken.
Hold on. I'm not telling you that the street card didn't get taken. Ja Rule got hit with a triple prong attack. All right. The first thing was what you talking about, all the disses that was coming out, his street card getting pulled. Simultaneously, their offices got raided and then their money got frozen. Now they got no budget for promotion. That's 2. And then number 3.
On the mixtape era?
Hold on. No, I'm talking about in the era when fucking Ja Rule started to get shut down, when he started beefing with 50 M.
On the mixtape era.
And everybody. Okay, sure. Now, here's what happens. At the same time the money gets frozen, the feds raid the building. At the same time, he's getting dissed all over the mixtapes. Now, he's getting blackballed from all the award shows because Dre, M, and 50, who's the 3-headed monster at the time, is saying if he shows up at the awards, we're not going. So now his invitation's getting pulled. So all that shut him down simultaneously. And I'm not a Ja Rule advocate. That's just the facts. But back to what we were saying before. I'm not telling you that they're not going to push a commercial single. I'm not telling you they're not going to have a 21 Questions. My point is that even in the underground, the shit that they drop in, the reason as to why that's even a mode of operation is because there is gangster music in the mainstream. If that shit is not in the mainstream, it's not popular.
Are you talking about then or now?
I'm talking about in both eras.
No.
The reason as to why, like, all right, if I got to walk through every decade, right? You remember the cat Roscoe Dash?
Yeah.
Who did he sound like?
Sound like garbage.
Specifically, I agree with that. Specifically,
sound like garbage.
Specifically, what artist did he sound like?
I wouldn't even know, bro. I probably gave him one spin. I would never listen to a Roscoe Dash. I couldn't even tell you.
He sounded like Soulja Boy. He sounds like Soulja Boy because that's what's in the mainstream. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you, but I don't think you with me, bro. At that era, gangster music had to come from a mixtape, bro.
People, okay, what era? What era did gangster? Give me a year.
On the mixtape era, all the gangster music had to come from there.
So give me a year. Give me a span.
Early 2000s.
Okay, if you go early 2000s, right? Even if we go right before early 2000s.
Why do you think Styles and Jada didn't do shit mainstream? They too tough for that shit.
Styles and
Jada.
Jada.
They fucking mixtapes went crazy.
Nobody's saying that their mixtapes didn't go crazy.
But why did they go crazy?
What do you call
They couldn't go commercial because nobody wanted to hear the shit they was talking about. Commercial, you can't sell that to the white people. You can't sell shit in the streets that ain't happening in the white neighborhoods. But you can sell it's your birthday. Let's go like it's your birthday. You can sell that.
Also talking about in this condition, what influences us. What I'm saying is, if that shit don't make no money, people are going to look for the sound that makes money.
Of a mixtape was for niggas to make money in the hub because it couldn't be put out there, bro. That was the purpose of a mixtape. You think if them niggas couldn't make the money mainstream, they wouldn't have? They didn't want to do mixtapes for the fun of it. They would have rather made money off that.
Run it back. Who I couldn't hear who you named.
When I said Styles in them?
The last statement. You were still talking about Jada in them?
Yeah, what I was saying is what if they was able to put those songs out mainstream, they would have.
Okay.
That shit wouldn't have sold.
There's certain material.
Why you think? Because I'm locked up. They won't let. That shit is commercial.
That's commercial.
They got way better songs than that.
I'm not saying that that's not commercial. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're talking about the singles versus the B-sides. The B-sides.
About the fact that a mixtape was the gangster shit.
The B-side.
You went to the mixtape for your gangster shit,
so
bro.
You don't have. So this is what I'm saying. So then you're saying that there's no gangster songs on these albums?
No, what I'm saying is that you had to be able to be commercial in order to put a gangster song on your album because nobody knew there was gay. How many people you think white people bought the 50 Cent album for the gangster songs? They bought it for In the Club.
I'm not disagreeing with that. That's why I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying. I already agreed with that portion of it. I don't have no problems with that. I'm saying that gangster during those times was trending in the mainstream. You know what wasn't? Rappers like fucking Kwame and De La Soul and shit. There was no artist like that at post DMX.
Hip hop, baggy clothes, that was selling the aura. Niggas didn't know what the fuck we was talking about, bro. They didn't know what the fuck. They wasn't going for the word base. They was going for what they could hear in the club. My nigga, what was relatable to them? They wasn't listening. What motherfucker who wasn't in the streets could relate to fucking songs that 50 was talking about most of the time? None of them niggas, but they could relate to In the Club.
During what era?
You still hear In the Club now when you go to the club.
I mean,
if that shit was all gangster tracks, that shit wouldn't have went nowhere.
In the Club is a classic.
You hear Back Down on the radio?
I'm not telling you. Like, this is what I'm saying. You keep arguing the same point that I'm not disagreeing with.
Nah, you're not disagreeing, but you're not seeing my point. This is not.
I see your point thoroughly. You're not seeing my point that shit was trending at the time.
Yes, at that point in time. But what mixtapes, right? But you're saying that I'm not saying that gangster rap wasn't on songs though.
Here's what. So
mainstream.
Let me give you a time frame, right? From 96 to 02, was the mainstream considered filled with soft or hard rappers?
It depends. It was kind of both, bro.
I'm talking content. I'm not talking about their personal character.
All right, so it was mostly tough rappers. It was mostly tough gangster shit.
So what I'm saying is, at the time, if I'm gonna write something, right, and at the time, if I'm a label and this is what's trending, what am I looking to sign? Do you think I'm looking for fucking Kwame?
No, but you're looking for a song that's gonna sell.
I'm looking for a song that's gonna sell, but what's selling right now is something hardcore. Do you get what I'm saying?
Now, yes, not at that time, though. That's selling now.
We're talking about the era where you just said.
Okay, so do you think that it's hard? So without In the Club, right? Without 50's In the Club, you think that album would have had the same promotion without In the Club? No fucking way.
I'm not telling you.
That's why the single release is what they are.
You need a commercial hit, and of course they want
to put a gangster song on your album. You don't need that no more.
But the persona of these rappers at that time, right? Like you don't see a shift. You know who broke that mold? Kanye. Kanye ushered in fucking backpack rapping. Prior to fucking Kanye, everybody thought you had to rap a specific fucking way, and that specific way you had to be hard.
Correct.
So what
allowed them to go mainstream?
My point is,
what allowed a hard rapper to go mainstream?
What allowed a hard rapper to go mainstream was a label putting a fucking budget behind them.
No, it was a commercial song.
So if that's the case, right? Then how did Jay-Z go and do a concert and he only played B-sides? Explain that.
What you repeat that? You said how did Jay-Z do what?
And we over the time, but how did Jay-Z come through and then do a concert and only do the B-sides at his show?
At what point do you look at Jay-Z as a gangster rapper?
Okay, his first album.
That's no. He's so see. This is why I get mad. This is why I get mad. You're never gonna look at Nas or Jay-Z as a gangster rapper. They're talking about shit. They're not gangster rappers.
Okay,
These are fucking thug, bro. Those are niggas that's really in the streets.
He is not a thug. So you telling me Jay wasn't in the streets?
Jay who?
Jay-Z.
What he? Bro, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
I'm asking.
Biggie was in the streets too, right? Supposedly.
I could go to Biggie, but okay. But here's what I'm saying,
that's
right?
Hip hop. That's not gangster rap. That's hip hop.
So when you turn around and you hear songs like "Friend vs. Foe," when you hear "The Evils," you mean to tell me that this content would not fall under the character and content of gangster rap as far as the subject matter?
It falls in the content of hip hop, not gangster rap.
Hip hop.
How many times did Jay-Z and Nas say they were shooting niggas? They didn't talk about that,
That
bro.
does not fall under hip hop. You know what hip hop is? Hip hop.
The lifestyle, the streets.
Yo, you know where y'all disconnected at? Y'all disconnected at the fact that y'all both right, but the thing is y'all are not saying the word who's it generally connecting with, because generally, yes, the general public would think songs like that from Jay-Z is gangster rap because
that's
they're not
my
used
point.
to that shit. Now, but what he's saying is we know better. The hood know, nigga, that ain't no gangster rap. That nigga's talking about hustling and shit. We get that. But the general pop, that they're not getting it. They think that.
But now, how do you get the general pop to get it? By putting out songs like "In the Club," commercial songs.
I don't understand that one.
I understand that one. You absolutely need a crossover track. You need a universal record, which is going to have commercial appeal in order to reach broader audiences.
Correct.
No, but what I'm saying is the understanding. He says, so how do you get the general pop to understand the difference between that not being gangster rap and it just being hip hop?
You can't. Well, general population meaning everyone or the streets all compared.
Well, you know, the general. So basically, when I say that, I'm being nice and saying the people that's not from the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to throw out a commercial song. You have to.
But then even if they hear the commercial song, what I'm saying is, how are they going to differentiate?
Because
like
now at that point, words don't sell. The aura does. At that point, it does. Yo, you know how many? Yo, look at influencers. You trying to tell me that Dipset was nice, nigga? No, they was flashy. It was what you saw. How many? Can no kids understand what these niggas are talking about anyway? They go off what they see.
Dipset invented microwavable music. They started the microwave music.
Yes, it was all aura and image. That shit sells more than the words do. We know that. Come on, we know that. Once you ain't from the streets and the club is cool, oh shit. Now the rest of these songs are cool now too. So I'm gonna learn them word for word. That's just following protocol.
But here's what I'm saying though, right? What has a greater reach then, right? Somebody now walk with me. Let me paint this picture here. What's going to have a greater reach and end up becoming more popular, especially inside of a long run? Somebody who put out a mixtape and is slanging them out of his trunk, or you know what I'm saying, or going to the mixtape circuits. You know what I'm saying? Shit, back in the day, I used to get my mixtape. Shit, Coney Island, they used to have them bumping all throughout. You know what I'm saying? The city, you had mixtape stands. You had certain shops that had them, right? Or somebody with a $14 million budget to do the album. You know what I'm saying? And then another $2 million in promotion. Who's in the mainstream? Which one's gonna have more influence?
Influence to what? Everybody or
influence in general? I'm talking about meaning influence as in reach masses, reach more people.
To be honest with you, what sticks to the streets, my nigga, because nobody's listening to Jay-Z right now. He's a billionaire. His mainstream is crazy. He can do whatever he want to do. Nobody listening to Jay-Z right now.
But here's what I'm saying, right? I'm gonna add this other person to the stage. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna extend this a few minutes, right? But now, here's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't tell me that the cat who's slanging out his trunk in Coney Island is reaching more people than the person who's nationally syndicated on radio stations in heavy rotations across the country and is now breaking out internationally, who's got a $2 million promotional budget.
You talking about nowadays? You're crazy. These kids are getting more fucking views right now than ever.
I'm talking about in general.
I'm saying, but the ever does matter though.
We're not talking about just views. We're not talking about just views.
That's how most of the motherfuckers getting paid nowadays.
Word, ain't nobody else.
You're not
even the labels is
Because here's what I'm saying. As soon as I talk about one era, you jump to now.
No,
so let's go back to the mixtape era.
All right, that's what I'm asking you. Okay,
let's go back.
Okay.
This is what I'm trying to say. Walk with me. We're in 2000.
All right.
Yeah,
now I'm walking with you because you being more verbal. That they talking my language now.
All right, I got to be more succinct. I'm gonna be real specific.
Appreciate you.
Meticulous, brother. Meticulous.
Meticulousness. Now we out here, right? And it's 2000. You got somebody, because here's the proof. Do you know how many of 50 Cent's mixtapes were not heard in Texas? Were not heard in Florida? Were not heard in Atlanta? Was not heard in XYZ? Walk with me. Walk with me. We know that material inside and out because the demographic, which is why I'm saying, what's got a greater reach? Somebody pushing mixtapes in New York or a $2 million promotional budget?
All right. How many people in Texas heard Reasonable Doubt?
Just answer the question for me. Just answer.
I am. How many people in Texas heard Reasonable Doubt when it came out?
Just answer. Reasonable Doubt came out independently.
How many? It's still mainstream.
That don't count. That wasn't what.
Why doesn't it count?
Because I'm talking about with a major.
Bro, in the mixtape era, right?
You're not answering my question.
I am, because it's about the mixtape era. In the mixtape era, right? Mainstream rappers wasn't going anywhere besides the fucking borough that they was from, where they was from. Niggas wasn't cross-voting like that anyway. When I used to be up in Florida, like that, you was never hearing fucking Jay-Z like that the way you were here in New York.
If I pay,
but a mixtape rapper would have never went nowhere. That's what you want to hear. There's no comparison.
There's only one answer.
There's no comparison.
The only answer is if in 2000 I turn on the radio in Florida, in Cali, in New York, and in Chicago, and I'm hearing the same song, that song has more reach than the mixtape.
There's no debate in that.
So that's my point. Now that's popular. That's trending. Now that's influencing the areas. So somebody coming up, is he going to be influenced by the mixtape he never heard or what's on the radio when he's...
But I feel like you're mixing the two eras, though.
You're
mixing the two eras because
radio was king.
Because if you was in that era, you wouldn't be thinking the accessibility that you have now. That wasn't even thought about then to even think that it's a possibility, though.
Radio was king in that era.
New York niggas did not get played nowhere else besides New York, bro.
Radio was playing mixtape.
That was a possibility in that time. Absolutely.
No. I don't know. I disagree, bro. Honestly.
Absolutely. And this is so now that's what I'm saying. Walk with me a little further. If I'm hearing something on the radio, right, and I'm being influenced by the media that's around, what's on the TV, XYZ, when I go to pen my paper, that's the area that I'm going to go in. That's the influence.
What area are you going to go in?
Labels are going to be able to reach more white people, which is the general pop. Like,
labels,
that's just the truth.
Labels
there's no debate. No, there's no debate in that. Of course, a label's gonna reach more people. They have a more promotional base. Of course, that's a fact.
I'm saying they're only gonna reach the general pop. But I don't want you to concede your argument either, brother, because at the end of the day, when you bump in a mixtape, and you put that shit out in the street, like I remember that was our fucking era, and you can't tell me your friend ain't have a different mixtape that you probably had. He had a different mixtape. He had this one.
Bro, I used to go down south and motherfuckers had the same fucking mixtape you had in New York.
When you ask about the long run, I'm going to go with Homeboy, and I'm going to agree with him because in the long run, a label is only going to go as far as the artist is going to go. And if you push enough bullshit, people ain't going to want to hear it. But if you an artist that pushing that real shit that people like, that you cannot deny, that shit will always last.
You remember more mixtapes than you do albums.
That's that. Now you moving the goalpost. I'm not. Y'all move. And
you said hypothetical, man.
I'm explaining. I'm going to explain why. Because you're talking about longevity. I'm not.
That was your argument.
That was your argument, brother. That's what you said.
No, that's how I know. Y'all are not
No,
listening.
brother.
Y'all not listening.
Art, listening is an
No,
art, and
yo,
I listen
listening
very well.
is
You
an art.
said,
You said in the
in the
long run, bro.
run, and you said in the long run, which is going to be.
Listening is an art. This is what I'm talking about. The long run. I'm talking about what's shaping.
You can't make up the long run, bro.
Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all are not.
You can't make up what the long run is, bro.
I'm explaining to you what happened. You know how I could show the long run? Because I could show the track moving along. You know what I'm saying? Hindsight is 2020.
Bro, but that's what we're talking about.
We're not talking about. We're not. No, y'all ain't hearing me.
You know what? Go ahead. You got the floor, my brother. Go ahead.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
When I'm turning around and explaining this, right? I'm not talking about an artist if he's going to have longevity or not. I'm not talking about an individual artist. I'm talking about what's creating the climate at that time for the actual media that's being pushed and what's trending around in that area.
But that's my problem. You're using words from today as if that shit was a thing then. There was no media. There was no trending then.
Are you
You had to really push this shit. It wasn't a thing, bro.
No, there wasn't
a thing, bro.
Media in the capacity of internet. You know what's media? A magazine is media. Radio.
How many rappers did you find out about on the fucking DVD, bro?
A minute
Yo,
ago.
y'all are both missing Napster. Hard body. Y'all niggas is missing Napster, Rhapsody.
Adam, for that. Because this is what I'm trying. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. When you looking at that time, radio is media. Magazine is media. TV is media. For you to say that
the same media, though.
And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. It was more concentrated at that time. You couldn't pop off as easily as you can now because of the internet.
Correct. There's no debate there. There's no debate there.
So this is what I'm trying to explain to you. Everything that I've been saying has to do with what's cultivating that climate in that moment. And in that mixtape era, because you're talking about the internet isn't booming like it is right now, then that means that those people in that time, when I'm talking 98, 99, 2000, that's shaping the sound and shaping the culture, it's coming from the mainstream.
No,
that's wrong.
Jesus.
Okay, let me ask y'all
facts.
brother something.
He's telling
Seriously,
you
let me ask y'all
facts, man.
something.
That's facts.
Let me ask y'all something. Can we ask y'all something? So back then, I know you said 99, 98, 99, 2000, yada, yada. Now, when I was in class, dead ass, like I said, I went to a white school. When I was in class, I used to have homeboys literally burning me fucking CDs because they had the online shit. Those were white boys. And them niggas would be on Rhapsody. Them niggas would be on Napster. And you can't tell me that shit did not put people on in a way. And that's the mixtape era. That's the mixtape era.
That's so. Dipset didn't get popping on the mainstream. They got popping on the fucking mix. You know what I mean? Rappers came out off mixtapes, bro. Mixtapes made a lot of rappers.
Yes, sir.
Including some of your favorite. Like, what are we talking about here? Matter of fact, without mixtapes, a lot of y'all niggas wouldn't even know some of the New York rappers if you wasn't from New York.
And that's the problem, y'all. That's the problem right there. The problem is, I'm talking.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I'm talking to two New York niggas. That's the problem. The problem is, I'm talking to y'all, and y'all are only talking from the New York paradigm.
That's wrong.
Nah, and I'm not talking from the New York paradigm. That's not my argument. My argument would be just like I said. So if you going online and you got Rhapsody and you got Napster and you have all these programs, that's nationwide. So basically, in the mixtape era, that's where a lot of shit was getting downloaded, bro. So if all these people in all these states is being able to get on the internet now in 98, 99, 2000, etc., they're hearing niggas like 50 Cent. And he's from New York. And you know what? They might like him more than that bullshit they putting on the radio, my nigga. That's a fact.
Yo, this is how I know that y'all are not hearing me, right? Because 50 during that era was popping in New York with us. You're talking about Columbia 50. I'm talking about Aftermath Interscope 50. That's what you're not comprehending. Because who's bigger and who had the bigger reach? Columbia 50 or Interscope Aftermath 50?
But there wouldn't be that 50 without that tape.
That's our point, brother.
Eminem grabbed that mixtape, bro.
Not saying that, but now, and this is what I'm saying.
We agree with you, Kai. We agree with you.
That's what he's not understanding. We're not saying you're wrong.
Y'all
We're not disagreeing with you.
Y'all don't agree with me because here's what I'm saying, right?
Bro, think about a mixtape as JV football.
Walk with me.
Like you gotta progress, bro. Like that's what the fucking mixtape game was.
I think this is the only way that I'm gonna be able to draw this paradigm for y'all to even understand what I'm saying, because y'all think that I'm negating the mixtape circuit, and then I know this.
Not.
I don't think no, Kai, you don't even got to extend it. No, Kai, you don't even got to extend
no sweat. I'm still gonna finish now, right? So now here's what happens though. After the Dipset era, right? When we go into like the directional music era, like snap your fingers, do the stare, do the stanky leg, all that shit, and then we go into fucking does your chain hang low, chicken noodle soup, right? Do you know that chicken noodle soup came and a chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side? That song came out of New York.
Yeah, we know that.
Do you know why that song came out of New York?
Listen, nigga.
Because the bullshit that's in the mainstream coming out is causing the people who are now trying to get on to produce that type of bullshit.
Again, I think you're digging with that. I think you're reaching.
Yeah,
bro, you want the chicken noodle soup, bro. You're reaching, bro.
So if that's
nobody fucking listen to chicken noodle soup, bro.
So then here's my last point then. And if y'all can't
reaching, if you gotta go to chicken noodle soup, you're reaching, bro.
Y'all can't see and understand what I'm saying right now. I can't help y'all blind.
Bro, you want the chicken noodle soup. That's the end of the argument.
Where is ASAP Rocky from?
Again, why are we talking about him? We talking about hip hop.
With me. Where is ASAP Rocky from?
He's from New York.
Did he rap like the average nigga from New York or like a nigga from the South?
What New York nigga rap is like the average New York nigga now? Did Pop Smoke do that? Did Pop Smoke rap like a New York nigga? No, he didn't.
It's a different era, man.
I just want my question answered.
What is the question? Does it sound like a New York nigga?
No.
This is how I know that. Okay, now.
No, we don't.
And he doesn't, because in that era, what was the sound?
The South.
Which is why he tried to sound like the fucking South.
Right. That's why.
But what's your point?
Just to back you up.
This is why I'm saying y'all have not been listening, bro. That's what the world.
Just to back you up. That's why
Jay-Z. ASAP Rocky sound like the South coming to the mixtape era what we was talking about. How does that even coexist?
Because this is how I know you're not following me. Because
I can't follow if you're talking about ASAP Rocky and mixtapes. That don't even coexist, bro.
Yeah, okay. Y'all, this is now.
Am I bugging?
Y'all, this is how I know. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Y'all are not hearing me.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you a question, but you don't want to hear. I'm asking you. You're saying, so basically we're agreeing, like me and the brother literally said what you said. Yes, a label is going to be able to touch way more people on a massive scale.
Y'all,
we got that. We agreed with you.
Because y'all, no,
we agreed with you on that.
No, see, like what you're cutting me off. You're not even letting me finish.
I know.
We agree with you on that point. We also,
I haven't even finished painting the shit.
We also agree with you that not a solo artist can reach as many people as a conglomerate, and of course, the conglomerate is going one way with goofy music that other rappers are going to want to replicate. That we get it.
If you've been listening to me, then what was the point of me saying all that?
The point of you saying all that.
That's what we've been trying to find out, in my opinion.
Well, I'm going to take a crack at it because I'm with him. I'm lost.
That's the case, then y'all should not have been battling me.
No, because your argument at first was a debatable battle.
Your argument was who's going to have the longest longevity and the longest.
But we answered that question though. We answered that a while ago.
That's how it started.
That's not how this started. Let me explain how this started. I turned around and was explaining. We started this right by talking about what was going on in the streets, right? And then I started this by saying, if the label doesn't come, right, and if they were to bar gangsta rap from being in the media and not promote that message, that would shape how the masses wrote music. And you said no because of gangsta rap and the mixtape circuit. And you said because the popularity of the mixtape circuit, and you were like, and what they were doing, this is why that doesn't affect that way. That's how this started. And I said the reason why they're even making gangsta mixtapes is because of the gangsta image that's in the mainstream, which is shaping the sound of what people.
No, because that's just the gangsta music came from the mainstream.
I didn't even land my plane. But as I start to go on, and I start to talk about a different era and why A$AP Rocky sounds that way, y'all agree that it's because that's the sound that's in the public.
That wasn't the question. That was not the question.
Hey, can I say something?
Nah. You added that.
That's just real quick. That's how I know y'all have following me. What are you saying?
I love you. I'll never have a problem with you.
Hey, real quick, can I say something?
Not like that. I love you too, bro. You already know.
Hey, can I say something real quick? I want to say shalom first.
Yeah, 180.
Everybody. But I just want to say one thing, right? Just to back up Katazar, right? Because he's right. I will use the rapper because I'm from the West Coast. I'm from Oakland. So I will use Too Short. Too Short, he wanted to do positive music, but his label was like, no, you got to pull out the bullshit. That's why he only, because you notice, if you were a fan of West Coast music, you would hear like the song called The Ghetto, which is Oakland's The Message, okay? Like what the message was to New York, the ghetto was to Oakland. But Too Short wanted to make songs like that. But his label told him, no, you got to talk about the bees and the hoes. You see what I'm saying? So they was like Katazar said, they was pushing the bullshit, the labels. The industry was pushing the bullshit. Yeah, sure. There was
disagreed with that though.
Nobody
disagreed with that aspect. Let me ask you a quick question, right?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna look at mixtapes like this, right? Now, before mixtapes, we were sticking in New York, so I could be specific, right? When they were singing, right? Without no Apollo and getting a fucking name for their shit, there's no artist to sign you. It's just you promoting yourself. That's kind of what a mixtape is. It's a promotion. Now, you know how many rappers only got signed because of the mixtape?
Yo, okay. Now I walk with you for the Apollo, right? Now you know that's how Fat Joe got on.
Correct.
Fat Joe would go to the Apollo.
Correct.
He would have all his Terror Squad niggas in the crowd, right? And he would rap, and the 100 niggas that he came with would go crazy, and now the label thinks he's got a buzz, right?
Correct.
Do you know why Fat Joe is rapping that way?
Keep talking.
Because of what's playing on the fucking TV and radio.
Right.
Where do you think they got it from? That's the fucking streets.
What he's saying is,
mainstream. But no, hold on. Why would you think that the mainstream knows what's going on in the streets?
Why? No, but the whole thing, that's not the point. The point is they're picking one aspect of the streets and they're making that the main thing to sell.
That doesn't matter what they're picking. It's originating from the streets. The mixtape is coming from the streets.
What I'm saying
is, the mainstream can only duplicate from what the streets is already doing.
What I'm saying is,
why do you think we have DJ Khaled's? Because there was clues before.
Fat Joe, right, did not go and try to create a different genre. He adopted that because of what he was seeing. So when he goes to the Apollo, he's trying to get signed with what the sound is at the time.
Right. An easy win.
And what you think, the sound is coming from mainstream or is coming from the streets?
The sound is simultaneously. Here's what happens, right? It's something starts like hip hop started in the streets, right? Right? What was being conveyed in the streets? Like for example, the first hip hop record that comes out, right, is Sugar Hill Gang fucking Rapper's Delight, right? Now, Rapper's Delight was commercial in comparison to what was happening in the street. Y'all with me?
Correct.
But now, as time goes on, and now the industry gets involved, they find what's in the street, and then they start mutating certain things. Sometimes artists get creative control, sometimes they don't.
You just answered your own question. They found what came from the streets, though.
Right now, but now walk with me. Then
we just took the walk. You just answered my question. It came from the streets.
We not, because I'm trying. That's the start of it. That's the pinnacle of it.
That's the point.
Now walk with me a little further.
That's the point we making.
Cap got strong legs, man.
Walk with me. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all want to stop there and close the book. We in the middle of the chapter.
Because what you're using is you're taking it as if we're debating your fact about the mainstream, right? We know that they can duplicate the sound that's being heard in the mainstream, but you're forgetting the fact that they have to hear it first from the streets, though. You're asking the street point out.
Basically, Kai, where are these artists from? These artists you talking about? Where's Jay-Z from?
Hey, stop, because I didn't even finish my fucking point.
You're just gonna say the same thing again,
What's the
bro.
point?
No, because maybe if I say it in a different way, y'all are gonna actually understand what I'm saying.
Yo, we're walking with you niggas' legs is getting tired, bro. We heard you.
Yo, here's what's crazy though. There's 9 other people in the chat and 2 other people on the stage who understand what I'm saying. Y'all 2 are the only ones who don't get what I'm saying.
I agree with you. You keep saying we're not. That's
thank you. Thank you.
I already told you.
Thank you. Nobody's disagreeing with you.
When I asked
you're debating our point.
Yo, brother, let me get this out to him. Let me get this out to Kyle.
No. Y'all disagree with me on the influence now coming.
No,
stop saying now because you said the mixtape era. See, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're the one with the disagreement, Kyle.
When I say now.
No, you can't say now because you said the mixtape era.
When I say now, I mean
can't say now. You
not
can't.
Now, as in chronologically, this point in time. I would say, Jesus Christ, this is what I'm saying. Y'all want to jump on every word instead of let me fucking finish.
You can't say now.
I can't finish it. Yeah.
The context of now was not now. The context. Jesus Christ.
So now we're taking away from the word now.
Talking about eras, man. He's talking about decades and eras, dude. Like this is
okay. And what decade and era are we in now? Not the mixtape era. You can't just fucking put a word in there because it sounds good. You can't do that. Now is now, then is then. You can't do that.
I can't. You're not hearing me. Y'all are jumping out
the mixtape era and now.
Stop. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it.
I got a question. Yo, let me just ask you this question so I got to understand it, man. Because I'm really trying to have decorum. I'm really, trying to get it.
So basically, fucking answer. Go ahead.
Look, man. Look. He just brought up Too Shorts, and I don't care who you bring up. Jay-Z, Fat Joe, Too Shorts, LL, 50 Cent, Tupac. They all have one thing in common, Pat. They came from the fucking streets. These labels are going to, that's what he's saying, and that's what you're not getting. We're not disagreeing with you that the label can take you further and make you reach a general population much bigger. Yes, I get that, but what you're not getting is what we're saying is, yeah, we agree with you, but nigga, even these labels, no matter how big they get, they are going to the streets for the talent to get what they have to get, bro. That's this is how I know you're not understanding the point that I'm making to you. You're right. You're right.
All, even a fucking little bit, bro. I'm done. We gonna pick that up.
If I may, we've asked you what the point was. You brought up motherfucking.
That's because you see how he was able to get his whole fucking thought out and nobody unmuted at one word?
Because we asked you 3 times and you keep bringing up other artists and then situations that have nothing to do with the topic. And you're making it more of a debatable situation because
I tried to show you 3 eras where the influence came from the top and pushed down and caused people in the streets now to start writing like that as it morphs.
But King, understand what I'm saying is you keep trying to specifically label a time frame and then adding all time frames is one way. You're contradicting the whole conversation because we're sticking to one time. We're sticking to one era. I tried about the mixtape era.
I tried to show you where it started, as it mutated, and then how in every generation that the mainstream, once it picks a sound, it dictates to the rest what it is and chooses from
the streets. And
I disagree. I told you that. I disagree with that. You're thinking
no, but hold on, you can't
down.
It doesn't.
Hold on. Sound. You cannot disagree with that when the Gangsta
Why can't I? It does not come from mainstream down.
Hold on. It started with NWA, which they from LA.
It started with NWA.
The point is, I'm gonna get to the point. They was purposely picked because none of them was gangsters except for Eazy-E, and he was kind of a gangster. But they was purposely set up by the industry to push that narrative.
They was already making a noise before they was even signed.
They were not. They was making dance moves.
If I may, nah.
They was known before they were signed. Where they from?
They was not making music before NWA, before they signed with Jerry Heller. I'm from the West Coast. I know this, bro. They was making dance.
Nobody in the West Coast knew who they was until NWA. Nobody.
No, what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Ice Cube is not a gangster.
Yeah.
Dre is not a
That
gangster.
doesn't matter to me.
Oh no, I'm saying Dre was doing dance music before NWA.
But was he known? Is the question.
He not like that. No, he was not known.
Like what? Was he known
like that.
Was he known in California?
Tell you why. Because there was
he known in California?
Hold on, there was this. So he was not. They were not known like that until they did the NWA.
Was he known in California?
Bro, this shit between y'all don't make sense.
Hey, we need to.
That's bullshit. Hold on. That's bullshit. Let's let them get in. You know what I'm saying? They've been waiting patiently to talk. Let's get some new voices on before we wrap this up.
Go ahead.
My bad. Hey, just to answer the brother's question, somebody else can talk if they want to. California is big. Okay, so Compton. So I'm from North Cali. Compton is Southern Cali. So probably in that area, yes, they was getting a little buzz, but it was not on some street activity stuff, right? Like I said, the only gangster that was in that group was probably Eazy, and yes, it was Eazy, okay? But just to add to Cox's point, he was saying the industry influenced that BS. Like you gotta understand, Too Short, he wanted to rap about the positive stuff, the stuff that was actually going on, because everybody in the street was not gangsters. He wanted to rap something like he heard like rappers like Melly Mel, so on and so forth. You know, he wanted to do more what we call conscious rap, but they told him no, you got to talk about the B's, H's, and all this stuff.
Yeah, we got that.
But hold on, but that was conscious point. They was pushed from the higher ups. Yeah, sure. Some of that was going on in the streets. I won't deny that. I'm saying that was pushed to mainly be pushed on the media by the higher ups. I think that was conscious point.
No, and I said that's what I said. I got that.
But
nobody
debated when he said that. The debate came from when he said that he was going from here and getting it from the mainstream. That's where the debate is. They wasn't getting it from mainstream.
No, that wasn't the. Hey, if I may, that wasn't the debate. The debate was no. This is what was going on because y'all almost on the same thing, but y'all get off to the point. Just like he agreed with y'all. Wait. Hold on. He agreed with y'all when we said that it comes from the street. The industry comes. Hold on real quick. The industry comes, see what's buzzing. They start trying to push that. The next thing, some of the new guys coming in are trying to follow that wave. And the industry comes follow that wave.
That's why we told him that was the point of mixtapes. We said that.
Okay, but he wasn't arguing that. He was arguing like the question.
He was because he said that.
Brother.
Hold on, brother. Wait. We can't do this in dialogue. Hold on. The thing was,
hold up. Yo, he's been quiet. Adam, you've been talking since you got on the show. Let him cook.
He's not cooking.
He cooking.
The thing that he said, the question that he posed to y'all, that none of y'all answered. He said that somebody's selling the music out of their trunk. Someone got a $2 million budget. Who's going to have the farthest? You did not answer it.
Yes,
you asked the question.
We said somebody on the label, of course. We answered that question.
Wow.
Okay, right. Okay, so now you just answered. Before you asked another question.
No, we answered that one.
Okay. You answered it. Okay, but then
answer that.
Pardon me. But then after that, he asked, okay, who's going to have the furthest reach? When people hear it, we want to get on. Because the thing that we are missing is that when music come out, Clear Channel is the biggest one. If you got a media to get out, you're going to hit all areas. It's going to take somebody time. Like he was saying, I was raised in Jersey. I moved down into Cali. You know how hard it was for me to get that East Coast music? It was hard to get it. Then I started hearing the West Coast are doing and listening to things. Then stuff started being pushed. Like you was talking about NWA. It don't matter if the only one gangster was in it was Eazy-E. Once that music started being pushed, how many other gangster rappers came out of nowhere? To where the industry would grab what they see as hot. Because remember, first it was coming out being hot was who's getting the buzz, who's buying stuff, which is different from now. Now you could just go on. You got a different outlet. First, your outlet was to your area. It gets pushed out and go that way. To come to your point about mixtapes, Katazal was just starting. He was starting to say, let's see how it goes. then get to the mixtape. Y'all was standing on the mixtapes about pushing that before Captain Katazai was coming up to like, okay, get to that point. So it was like he was arguing a point. Y'all was standing on one point, and then he was like, I don't argue. I agree with you with that. Y'all was like, no, you don't. He was like, I do agree.
That's not what he said, bro.
On what?
Yeah,
okay. What part did he say?
Yeah, this is not you missing.
You're just
been wrong.
But you're taking everything Katazai said and you're saying we disagreed and that's your whole argument was false just
You've
now.
been wrong on.
I'm not saying
you've been wrong on so many points of your board just now. Nobody ever
name one. Okay, name one. Go ahead. Name one. You said that I was wrong.
You just said the only thing that we disagreed with, I'm speaking for myself. The only thing that I disagree with Katazai was when he said that we are getting it from mainstream and it's coming down to the streets. That's why I said no. It comes from the streets first, then it goes mainstream.
Okay,
but he wasn't. No. He said that once it get mainstream, people follow that and come in. That was his argument about the streets. We all know that. His argument was that once it
go ahead.
So
look, man. So look, bro. Look, let me just get this out because you asked me a question. You said what statements did I say was wrong? You got on here and you said that you accused me of not answering the question that I answered twice.
No, not you. The brother up top. Not you.
Right,
But go ahead.
Because I listen.
I'm done.
I might talk.
Yeah, we can go, bro. Because me and him being on the agreement the whole time, bro. Like, come on.
But look, now the label. My question is to killers because we're all over the place. The point is I'm gonna ask both of you, Katazai and the brother backing Katazai all the way. Let me ask you this: why the fuck are labels going? Why are they going to get that artist, and where are they getting them from? That's all I want to know, my nigga.
Right.
That's all I want.
Right now, currently,
bro, Katazai, you can't do that because you're talking about the mixtape era, bro.
I am. Oh my god.
No. We agree. I agree with you with that. They come to the streets to get the rappers.
The street is the sound.
Let me ask you this, right?
Okay, wait.
Hold on. You asked the question you wanted me to answer. They're not only going from there because just like he said with NWA, how many of them were from the streets? You got something called the industry plant. You have something that
engineered from New York music, bro. I don't know if they had mixtapes in Cali.
You have something that's engineered directly from y'all made it about New York. I was talking about the industry's influence over people and how what they put out causes people to write like that.
That's false.
Thank you.
That's what we agree with.
That's not false. That's right.
That's correct.
What did I say was false? You said that's not false. I'm going to ask you, what am I saying is false?
You asking who said is what false?
He said because I said that's false. He said no, that's not false. So I want to make sure he knows what I'm talking about. I said it's false.
You're basically saying that the industry is not purposely engineering this. I'm gonna just
okay. So I never said any of that. So I don't know how you're gonna call me false. I never said any of that.
Listen,
so what I said was false, Katazai, is that when we had the conversation, I said, yo, whatever were you talking about, right? You said the mixtape era. Now, if you're going to talk about the mixtape era, you know we from New York. I can't tell you if they had mixtapes in Cali. You know we're talking about a New York era. You know we are. I don't know what Too Short did. I don't know what NWA did. But when we talk about the mixtape era, you know we're talking about New York's mixtape era. We ain't talking about Cali. We ain't talking about nobody else, bro.
I'm going to try to simplify this as much as possible.
All right.
One more time.
Don't tell me no, it's not false. It's false. I don't know what you're talking about.
One more time, I'm going to try to simplify this, right? NWA got their entire attitude, their entire persona from the streets. We agree?
Absolutely, 100%.
The industry took what they got from the streets, pushed it out, and then now they're branding it, and you know what I'm saying? Now it's reaching the masses. We agree?
No debate there.
Now, that causes the masses who are now trying to get in the industry to start writing in what style?
You talking about a gangster rap style?
Correct.
But this is where your argument falls apart.
No, it doesn't.
We did that with a lot of artists.
It falls completely apart, brother. It falls completely apart.
It does not fall apart. It don't fall apart because this whole thing is we started this by reading something where they said that they engineered gangster rap, right? And now that's the tune that it stays on from 91 all the way up to the 2000s. You get what I'm saying? Now, this is what I'm trying to say. That's in because the mainstream's pushing this and says this is what's going to make money. This is what we're looking for.
Nobody disagreed with that.
But that's then why have we been arguing? That's
because we brought up the mixtape era. That's why nobody. That's what me and Adam's been saying. Nobody disagreed with you, Adam. How many times have we said that? We are not disagreeing with what you said.
Then if
I think
nobody
like I said, that's
disagreed
why I
with
was
the
asking
mixtape
questions,
thing.
man. Like it's like basically, bro, you gotta realize like when you saying that, why I said that your argument falls apart using that analogy is because yes, those artists will go in there and write what the label wants them to write because yes, this is the sound that's popping now. You asked about longevity. That song is not going to continue. That sound is not going to continue to pop. You're going to have to go back to the street and get that new sound. That's what evolves music. So you can't have just an artist just because you took him from the street in this era or this time frame, put him in the booth and be like, okay, now I can get more artists. How long do you think you could run that game? You're going to have to need a new sound. And the way they're going to look for it, they're going to go back to the fucking streets.
Right. But then how does it push? Think about auto-tune. Think about Future and everybody that sound like him.
And now,
that's if you consider somebody like him from the streets.
Hold on,
that's your fault.
No, that's just the music that's the sound being pushed. That's the sound being pushed.
Now we're getting somewhere.
That's
right?
your fault for believing that bullshit.
No, but it's being pushed. Everybody sounded like that.
No, that's the cycle.
So they push them in them too. He a gangster too.
Listen.
We're not.
That's the missing link. And that's why this wheel hasn't been turning all the way. That's been the chip in it.
Right.
We all definitely agree. They go to the street, they engineer it into the industry, they push it down, everybody jumps on the bandwagon until they find the next sound from the street, and it recycles over. It just so happens, though, that what they're looking for is bullshit. They're not looking for anything good.
There you go. Now we're on the same page.
Right.
Yo, can we get one of them Hebrew Israelites? That's what celebration. Come on, man.
I agree.
I can't believe. I'm glad that we here. I just can't believe it took 45 fucking minutes for us to get here. This is crazy.
Listen.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you need to throw one of them Hebrew Israelite celebrations out here, man, because my brain.
Now we agree. All right. So in closing, all right, record labels pushed gangster rap to continue to perpetuate the prison industrial contract. Complex. You know what I'm saying? And outside of that, I ain't got shit to say. So if y'all got closing statements, but I'm glad that we're finally fucking in agreement.
Yeah, I that closing argument, I agree on. We're on the same page there.
That was the missing link. Now I see where the point of contention was, because we were literally both saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to. The only thing I was trying to explain is that what is that wouldn't happen perpetually if the labels weren't continuously looking for the bullshit in the streets to continue to push.
You just want to argue with me, bro. I'm just going with that, bro. You just want to argue with me.
But I think that's why I came on, because it was like y'all was saying the same thing, but y'all couldn't connect to where y'all agreed on to push to keep pushing it. Because like the brother up top and y'all two were saying about the mixtape era, which was almost like the mixtape era was trying to push out the labels of this is what we're going to put out. So when they start throwing out mixtapes, now I could throw out my own stuff and do that.
Yeah, and the mixtape, that's why they took the mixtapes away. So you know what? Let's allow these motherfuckers to say what they want to say now. So we can make this money off of them. That's why mixtapes died. You know what I'm saying? Because now we can sell this shit now. We're gonna sell it now instead of y'all making y'all own money out y'all trunks. Sell y'all shit now.
And we agree with that, to where now I think the thing is going to be how they're going to do social media. Like social media is almost like the mixtapes. You could come out and do that to see. Now it's going to see how are they going to try to stop that. And it seems the way that they're stopping that is by pushing their own nonsense into the social media, to where when you get on there, you're going to see her, you're going to see this, you're going to see that, and it's hard to pick out the good stuff to eat with all of the nonsense up in there. It's making it harder and harder to hear something that's good.
Well, think about it. Whenever you watch a song now, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, you can't watch it without watching 3 to 4 ads. what I'm saying?
Got him.
Facts.
You feel me? You can't listen to a whole song without ads now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't even watch a
man.
whole movie without ads. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, I would just want to ask something. Who said that Jay-Z was not a gangster rapper? I just want to.
I said that.
Okay, so you know, like the reasonable doubt. So I say Jay-Z was definitely a gangster rapper, but he was more like a father. Hold on, he was like a more Godfather type of gangster rapper than Scarface. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't.
If I may, in my opinion, Jay-Z style of rapping, it's not gangster rapping.
Well, if you ask me,
what is a gangster? No.
Jay-Z
is a nice rapper. Don't get me wrong, though. But if you listen to Jay-Z,
it depends on what a gangster is to you, though. What is a gangster to you?
Somebody like Styles P or Hell Rel. Somebody, you know, when you listen.
But that's what I'm saying, though, because I gotta know. I gotta know where
Cassidy would be like a lyrical rapper.
Where is he? Yo, where is he? Who was that talking? If you mind me asking, who was that?
It's 180 on the rise. I want to explain why Jay gangster rapper. Like I said, the Godfather movie with the Don Corleone, they're gangsters. Scarface is a gangster too. So 50 Cent would be like the Scarface, shoot 'em up, bang bang. The Don Corleone would be more like a chess player type of gangster. That is Jay-Z.
Yeah, I see what you mean. That's credible.
When he's saying you want money like Cosby, who wouldn't? It's this kind of talk. It's this kind of talk that made me think that you probably ain't got no pudding.
But you're comparing real life to a fictional movie, though.
No, not
I think
really.
we're missing up street.
No. I'm
out there. You consider
organized crime. In the streets, organized crime is organized crime. Being a gangster is being a gangster. You can't put a gangbanger and a robber in the same argument.
That's the streets. That's the difference of things in the streets. All streets ain't just gangster.
Hold on. I'll give you another line. He said the exorcist got me doing sticks like Homer. You don't know me, but the whole world owes me strip. Like that's not gangster shit. Or too much West Coast dick.
Okay. I think this is where you getting confused, right? Just because I could talk some gangster shit don't make me a gangster rapper.
Right. Just because he's saying.
Just because he's saying this shit, that don't make him a gangster rapper.
Exactly what I was saying, though.
So when I look at gangster rapper, I feel like you actually a real nigga. You actually a gangster.
Wait, hold up.
I'm not bashing no.
Ice Cube was not a gangster, bro. But he wrote all that shit for everybody.
Yo, I'm saying like
because somebody like anybody can say that.
I could write about a lot of shit that I didn't live. I could write about the mob life. I was never in the mob.
His vibe, his style don't seem gangster at all.
Was it street though? Hold on.
Shit that happened in the street.
So
hey,
is it
selling drugs is not a gangster.
So is
being
it
part of the streets is not a gangster. There's little niggas walking around the streets right now who's from the streets and they not gangsters.
So it's
right.
There's a difference between you gotta differentiate the difference between gangster and street, bro.
So is it the person?
Right. So
is it the person or is it the content?
It's the person.
Nah,
what if, so
it gotta be both. It's gotta be both, bro.
But hold up, wait. We gotta look.
It's the persona. It's the persona. It's his character.
To make it believable, it gotta be the person.
So is Tupac a gangster rapper?
No. He's talking about gangster shit. Who?
Ice Cube.
Kataza, before
Ice Cube?
I
no.
Holler at you.
No.
Or Cap T. Can you hear me, Cap?
Yeah, and that's what we could push that to another week. We still got a couple of other topics. You know what I'm saying? I think we still got to get into, has hip hop become death and drug culture? What is the industry plant? And we got a couple of other conspiracies that we want to unravel in the future. I appreciate everybody who came out.
I appreciate all you guys, man.
I appreciate y'all patience. I would like for y'all to get on the panel earlier and for brothers to be able to get in where they fit in. You know what I'm saying? And the panel is open to anybody that wants to come up. You know what I'm saying? But what was your question, Adam?
All right, so y'all had an episode. Damn, I forgot what it was called. It was recently. It was like a couple of days ago, and y'all started getting into the conversation. Captain T started into the conversation about Jesus and Joseph and the genealogy.
This cross the line?
Yeah, there you go.
I'll answer the question, but you got to come to cross the line.
Okay. Yeah, I was confused. That's why I said I'll just wait. I didn't know. I'm still, new to the.
I got you. But what was it?
Boom. They started talking, and there was I don't know if the dude was older. I think he was older, and him and Cap T started going back and forth, and he started reading the scripture, Cap T, and the older dude was like, "Yo, hold on for a second." right there. And Cap T was like, all right, they were gonna start conversing again, but then he switched over to some bitch ass nigga, and they just basically argued the whole rest of the show, bro. That shit had us in the room kind of tight, man, because I was trying to see where that shit was going, bro. That shit was interesting, and I found that kind of foul though, because he did tell them brothers to hold on, and he never got back to them. So I, as a genuine person, I'm gonna let y'all know when y'all got it right, but I'm gonna let y'all know when y'all got it wrong, and that was kind of wrong what y'all did to them brothers, bro. Y'all put them on hold, and they was waiting the whole time, and Cap T just arguing with this dude, bro, the whole time.
I'm trying to which who got put on? Oh wait, you talking about the knucklehead that called up?
Man, I don't know the dude. Like I don't say that to callers. Like I don't ever do that to callers,
okay. Let me explain something to you, right? I know what you're talking about now. That cat called up. He got out of pocket and he hung up. Like he
no, cat. You got the wrong cat. I'm talking about the dude. It was an older dude, and him and Cap T was going back and forth about the genealogy of Jesus, and Cap T was like, "Oh, so you think that the spirit got Mary pregnant, or whatever the case may be?" And remember, Cap was like, "Oh, so you think that the spirit shot up the club?"
Okay.
Remember, that was the conversation that we were wanting to hear before Cap T switched over to the other asshole who hung up on him, and they just kept arguing. But that's the two dudes, because they were going at it with Cap T, and I was interested. Like, that was an interesting topic. But Cap T was like, all right, put them brothers on hold. Don't hang up on them. All right, cool. So the whole hour and some change, Cap T never went back to that. And I found that kind of foul, because Cap T was in the middle of a verse. That's not like y'all. You know what I mean?
I got you. I hear you got here a week ago. You don't know how it runs yet. I understand. You said
I've been listening to y'all for a while. Check that.
I got you. I understand. You know what I'm saying? But you said, you know, I'm new here. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's all right. Stick around. You'll be all right.
Nah, man, but y'all gotta get that brother his crown, man, because I seen him going at it in the comments by himself. You know what I mean? And I felt kind of bad. Like, damn, that was kind of bad.
Listen, if somebody's an enemy, they an enemy. I ain't giving my enemy shit. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm saying. If you want to know the answer to the question, tune in Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah. What is that? Yo, Cat, what's that on?
So that's on Cross the Line Radio. You could tune in. You can either go to crossthelineradio.com. You could type in Cross the Line Radio right now on YouTube, and you could subscribe. So for anybody who doesn't know, this is our new channel. We got about 1,800 subscribers on here. Cross the Line's been going a lot longer. We got about 20,200. You know what I'm saying? So every Thursday, you know what I'm saying, it's a debate platform for anybody who wants to, you understand, bring a doctrine, you understand, and attempt to cross the line. I don't care if you Muslim, 5%er, I don't care what denomination of Christianity you are, anybody can pull up and get their issue.
All right, cool. Because, hey, I tapped in with the brother, you know what I'm saying, through the comments, man. He was like, hey, yeah, you know what I mean? Because when he was explaining, I was like, yeah, because their decorum with each other was cool. Like, it was back and forth. They listened to each other. Because, you know how Cap T usually got to set a nigga down. But now it wasn't none of that. It was a good conversation.
Hey, man, y'all two could join hands and make We Are the World. Right?
Get out of here, man. But, hey, on Thursday, I'm going to tell that brother to call in, man. But y'all got to promise to get that brother his time, man. I want to see how that shit was going.
Let's see how he acts.
Oh, no, he was cool. He was cool the whole time. He had no problems with Cap that episode.
So tell him to call up and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I just felt bad. I'm saying I felt bad, man, because that was kind
of. Bless your compassionate heart.
And just for the record, Cross the Line is at a whole different caliber, at a whole different league.
I love it. Yo, I love it. What I'm saying, when I'm new to this, I don't really be on like, I'm subscribed to Captain T's. I think this thing here, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just new to that aspect. But I've been watching y'all brothers I've been watching Captain T battle Brother Polite from back. Like, I've been on it. You know what I mean?
Well, shit, man. Either way, man. I'm glad you pulled up tonight. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate you being on the panel. You gave a lot of feedback. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And that goes for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate 180 for pulling up. I appreciate the brother Mike Love, Yaquataza, Adam, and then, you know what I'm saying, of course, my co-host, you know what I'm saying, Naystar.
You heard my guy.
I appreciate y'all. We actually went a whole hour over for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, as y'all see, subscribe, hit the bell. We're going to be going live every weekend. Next week's topic, what are we going to do next week? What do you say?
I don't know yet, but we'll talk about it. We'll put something out before, you know, to let everyone know. But I'm not sure yet because we didn't touch a lot of topics. We didn't talk about the Nipsey Hussle situation with his brother Black Sam actually making that doing that interview recently. We were supposed to touch into that too. So maybe we'll lead off with that next week.
I think that might be a good lead off for is hip hop death and drug culture.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And then that could kind of branch out into everything else that we were talking about, especially with Fulio. We never touched on.
Yeah.
Saying like there's a lot of things.
Like I said, whatever y'all think, just hit us up and then we'll see if we can make it a topic. But as of right now, I think we should go with that.
I appreciate y'all brothers, man, bro. This was a good talk, man. I'm gonna roll out. Y'all be good, man. Be safe out there.
Yeah, man. You too, man.
See you on Thursday, Cap.
All right. This is Facts on Wax, and Thursdays cross the line.
You heard?
All right, y'all.
All right, bro.